everyone. Welcome. I tell you what, these Mondays come around a bit, don't they? These Mondays come quite around quickly, so it's nice to see everyone. Hopefully you're all good. Hope you had a cracking weekend. Obviously, we'll chat a little bit about what I got to this weekend, because I'm sure some of you will probably already know, or at least can take a guess. Thank you for sitting patiently. We're on a little bit behind schedule, but we're here now, and we're still top of the league with Crystal Palace. We still have some January transfer business left, if needs be. Hopefully not, though. I think we're pretty much okay with the squad, to be honest. But our new signings are injured. Of course they are. Welcome. Hope everyone is well. Gem Thoughts, Mr. Jameson. Very Scandinavian. I think I can go with that, to be honest. Hello, everyone, by the way. Gem Thoughts is in. Dan, FM Gamer is in. Ragio is here. Franco's here. Fat Nige, Keeney, the Arsenal as well is in. And, of course, everyone who's just chilling in the background. Welcome, of course, to you all. The mic is not on mute. Great start to a stream. That is as good as we can hope for, to be honest, Ragio. Captain Zeep is in. Welcome, Zeep. How are you, pal? No, it's been a good one, to be honest. I'll level you. I felt a bit tired today, but I'm looking forward to this. This is going to perk me up a wee bit, to be honest. Already discussions in the chat about what do I get up to in that 10-minute countdown, because obviously I put it on and I start a little bit of sort of like typing, like, hey everyone, how's everyone going? And I hope you're well. And then there we go, and we sort of leave it at that. And then occasionally I'll come back and I'll sort of add little bits and pieces in there as well to sort of like try and sort of like, you know, keep things going a wee bit. Of course, yes, thank you, Raju, for the shout out for JM Thoughts. Of course, you go and follow JM. A wonderful man, to be honest. The question, of course, is and the answer, sorry to say, is always more dull than what you can come up with on your own. So feel free to put some ideas in the chat about what you think I might be doing. Dan FM is the closest one, to be honest, with sits and looks at pictures of Jet from Gladiators. Just to be fair, I wouldn't have just been that for 10 minutes. If anything, that's my 10-minute countdown to go, right, Tony, you've got to, like, stop just looking at pictures of Jet now. Now you've got to try and get on with it. I'm like, right, okay, cool, I'll do it. Close the internet down. Don't need that. A tactical 8-minute cry. What do I do with the other 2 minutes? Tidy myself up, I presume, possibly. Make it look like I haven't cried. Jaden, we use the Tato skin here, pal. So there you go, there's the link for the Tato skin. It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice skin, this one. We've had it on for, what, about 6 months now. And it still looks the business. Should say as well, by the way, if you don't have FM23 just yet, there is a offer on at the moment, and it's 40% off. Limited availability. I don't know what that means in terms of how long that offer is on for, but SI have tweeted out today, Football Manager tweeted out today, saying there's a 40% saving on FM23. So if you haven't already bought it, now's the time to go and do it. I'll pop the link here in the chat, so at least if you haven't already bought it, you can go like, all right, cool, let's go and get it. You might as well treat yourself. You know what I was going to say? Treat yourself to it. You know, channeling my inner Big Sam. I do need that pep talk to myself. Just, you've got this, Tony. You've got this. Quick, drink that pint of wine. We're away. Don't answer what you're doing the other 2 minutes. Well, that's the thing. 2 minutes, I could do it twice. Yeah, that's what I could do. So as we said, this is where we are. This is where we are in the league. Currently sat top on goal difference. Okay, 26 goals as opposed to QPR's 22. 7 defeats. That's quite a lot, to be honest. I think it's not brilliant. There is, of course, been some transfers. We have brought players in. We've added to the squad. We've brought Biggsy in. Biggsy's come from Huddersfield. £20 million. Okay, he's going to double up in the midfield with it's been a couple of days I've already thought my team. Hayes, he's going to double up with Hayes in the midfield, and it's going to be incredible to watch, to be honest. But he's had a virus twice since he's turned up, so that's not good. Presumably he's brought, swine fever or malaria with him or something. So that's not brilliant. So hopefully we can get him quarantined. He's not going to pass out to anybody. So fingers crossed there. And then we brought in a big striker, Giorgio Valia, big angry man, 16 for aggression, 16 for finishing, 16 for composure, 15 for off the ball, jumping reach of only 14, he's not that bothered really, 6'2", acceleration of 15, agility of 17, dribbling of 15, thought here we go, attempts overhead kicks. Broke his ribs in his debut, didn't he? Out for nearly 2 months. Bugger. So, that's where we are. Oh, yeah, and of course, let's not forget Maxo. The Arsenal's just reminded us about Maxo. Just Johnny Pisshead. Just he's been done 3 times for going out and on the lash and then just like not turning up afterwards. So we're a bit upset with him, to be honest. The problem is we can't replace him because where do you find a top quality right back at this time of the season when we're not a Premier League club? Of course, players are still looking at us going, you're not in the Premier League though, so we don't really want to come to you just yet. So that's a concern. That is a concern. So we'll see how we get on with him. So we might have to keep our eyes peeled for something else, but who knows what's going to happen. He was brilliant with a hangover. He turned up in a couple of matches and put in a couple of assists, and we're like, oh, this is brilliant. But yeah, it turns out he can only play if he's hungover. There was a mention as well, by the way. We will, of course, talk about it now. Broad cyst evening, says Tony. Great performance from your boys on Saturday. Yeah, it really was. It really was. Like, so I went. Okay, and I said to you in the chat last week or so, I was like, right, look, I probably won't go and get tickets for the playoffs because I feel a bit bad jumping in right at the end and then sort of like just swooping in. There'll be people there who obviously have been for years, they deserve a ticket, all that sort of stuff, which I completely agree with. But someone I work with couldn't go and said, do you want a ticket login? I was like, well, yes, of course I do. Really, I'd like that. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. Excuse me. So we went. Me and my mate went. We didn't have sushi, actually, Franco. Didn't have sushi. There is no such thing as sushi in the Northeast, and I wasn't allowed to bring it to the Stadium of Light because it would have been confiscated from me. What I did do, however, is I didn't get a pie. My mate bought a burger from a burger van, okay? And he was like, the whole cost of living thing. He looked, he was like, I've just paid £4 for a pie, for a burger, and I've not even batted an eyelid on it. Evening McFly Shaw, how are you, pal? How are you? Nice to have you in, buddy. Pleasure to see you as always. So he was like, £4 for a burger, and I went with a hot pork roll, and that's not a euphemism, by the way. That's not a euphemism. A hot pork roll with stuffing and gravy on it, and that was £4, and I think I got the better deal. I didn't get crackling on it because I was like, it's gonna smash my teeth. Because like, bless the poor lass who was serving it, she was having a right trouble on with that crackling. So I figured, you know what, leave her to it. I'm just gonna have my pork roll with a bit of stuffing and a bit of gravy, and yeah, class, really, really class. So well happy with that. I absolutely got the better deal, and you know what, my mate was just like, he had absolute food envy straight away. He's like, oh, I should have got that, shouldn't I? I was like, yeah, you should have done, shouldn't you? So yes, that was good. I didn't have a blue drink, Elite Clarity. I should have done. I was driving, so I could have had the blue drinks, but no, didn't even bother. The bar was rammed at half time, so I was like, there's part of me, because it was quite tense at half time. Obviously, like, it was 1-1. And I said to my mate, I was like, I could do with a pint, to be honest. And like, I'm trying to stay off the booze as much as I can. And I was like, I could do with a pint. And I didn't have one because the queue was just ridiculous. I was like, I'm not bothering with this. Like, so we sort of hung around for a little bit, went back in. I should also mention as well, didn't realise my mate had vertigo until we got to the ground, because we walked in. So Sunderland's, for those people who don't know, right, the first tier of the Stadium of Light is underground, right? Because when they built it, they couldn't get the cranes high enough, because they've got a 3-tiered stand. They only had one 3-tier stand at the time, which was like the West Stand, I believe. So it's one of the main stands. They couldn't get the cranes high enough to go up for 3 tiers. So what they did was, because it's built on an old mine shaft, they went a quarry. They went, well, let's just dig underground. Right? So when you come in on ground level, the first tier you have to walk down to get to the first tier. So you don't see it on TV, but obviously when you're there in real life, like, it's really confusing. That's what makes it loud, because you have to go underneath, and then the roof sort of keeps the sound in, and it swirls around. So you've got that, right? And then so we're in the third tier, and we were at the top of the third tier, right? Literally, the seat behind us was the press box, right? So Talk Sport and like all the local radio stations and that, they were essentially where my shirts are right here, which meant the view was incredible. Like, you just saw like an amazing angle for watching football, and it was brilliant. And my mate sort of like, he's starting to walk up these steps, and it's quite an incline as well. And he's like walking up, he's like, I don't really feel so great about this. And then he sort of turned round, and as he turned round, he obviously didn't realise how high up he was. And he was like, oh, don't like this. And he just sat down pretty quickly and got himself sorted. Obviously, if there's any Newcastle fans in the chat, yes, your stand is higher. Yes, we understand that. But as I say, you're not going up the first. You don't have to climb up that first set. It's probably about the same height, to be honest, really. But the angles are about the same. But yeah, so it was there, and it was lovely. It was great, really, really good. Atmosphere was fantastic. Luton, I was disappointed with, to be honest. I was disappointed. I thought they came for a point. I thought that they were going to sit deep and they were going to just play for set players, and that's exactly what they did. Took the lead, and it was like, oh shit. Didn't think about that. Sunderland looked very, very good. Very good though. Like, what we've learned about this Sunderland side is that they don't know when they're beaten, and they just keep playing. So even at 1-0 down, there was never a feeling in the ground that the game was lost, which is really weird, because like, obviously whenever I used to go to Sunderland as a kid, most of the time whenever it was like 1-0 down, I was like, this is going to be shite, right? You're basically counting how many goals are going to go in against you. But this is just different. This is just different. Even Tom Spark, welcome in, pal. How are you, buddy? It's really weird to sit there and be confident. We're talking about Stadium Light, Tom. I went to the game on Saturday to watch Sunderland versus Luton, and like, I've said this again to a couple of mates who are Sunderland fans and that, and like, I genuinely think this is the best Sunderland side that I've seen in my lifetime, and I include the Peter Reid side in this. Like, the football they play, the players they've got, like, there's probably only about 2, maybe 3, 4 an absolute push would get into this current Sunderland side. Like, Super Kev, obviously, Super Kev would get in. I can imagine Super Kev in this team, man, with Diallo up front. Oh, unbelievable. Julio Arca would get in at left back. He'd have to play left back rather than left wing. Kevin Ball would obviously be in, because first of all, he's a fit centre half, and we haven't got any. But more importantly, he's just hard. And the whole point of the club is that they just try really, really hard. I also think, my mate said this one actually. My mate said this, Alex Ray, and I was like, oh, that's a good shout for centre midfield. But the problem with Alex Ray is he's got to try and dislodge this Ekwa, who was immense. It was brilliant. He was everywhere, literally everywhere, breaking things up, making little dinking passes in all over the place. Like, looks a tidy little player, man. Gave the ball away a few times as well. But he's young. But yeah, he looked pretty good, to be honest. And Pritchard was immense. Like, absolute energizer bunny all over the place. But I think it was just a lot of fun. Like, Quinney, because of the way that they play, I think that Quinn actually sits on the bench at this point alongside Alan Johnson and Nicky Summerby. But what brilliant players to bring off the bench. But yeah, Diallo, I was very, very impressed with Diallo, how he works, particularly off the ball. Because of the seats we had, we could see all of his movement, and he's kind of like an NFL wide receiver, in that he runs plays. Like, when you watch him, he runs plays. Like, he's constantly like sort of pulling defenders here, there, and everywhere off the ball. And like, there was one bit the ball had been played long, and he was chasing it, and he just dropped off. And it's like, why are you dropping off? And the defender went for it, and he miskicked it. He'd already worked out the defender wasn't getting it. He was like, that's fine, he's not going to get this. Miskicked it, and it just came straight to him, and it was like, oh yeah, that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. And you're right, yeah, the free kick was incredible. Really, really incredible. Like, that's what he's capable of. And I guess now the question is, what happens next season? Does he make his way into the United side? Possibly. Does he go on loan to a Premier League side, or does he go to? Does he end up with the Championship again, irrespective of who that might be? And I don't think that being on loan to a bottom of the table Premiership side is actually any better than being a top of the table Championship side, because the bottom of the Premier League is shit. Really, it's nowhere near as competitive as the top of the Championship. And I actually think that you get more, irrespective of where he ends up. Yeah, but yeah, it is a bit of a bizarre one, thinking that Quinn needs to be on the bench. I know that, but just the way that the team is set up at the moment, they don't play with a target man. Or maybe they could have him where Ross Stewart would be. So Quinny goes up, knocks it down, and then you have Super Kev behind in the false nine. Maybe that works. But yeah, it's interesting. Starting out as a 4-4-2, then going to the 4-2-3-1. You can sort of see the shape changing during the match. It was really interesting to watch. But yeah, it was good fun. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Luton had a rest on Saturday. Sunderland ran so much that they might be knackered. And then it's just a case of what happens, whether or not they go to Wembley. And if they do, then who knows? As a Leeds fan, I doubt we'll play Sunderland soon. I don't know how you want me to take that, Tom, because, what's your thoughts? Are you going to stay up? I guess that's the thing. Are you going to stay up? McFly-Short, of course, we have to talk about the Notts County playoff final against Chesterfield. I think the neutrals, I'm going to pick my words very carefully here, McFly-Short. Incredible match. I think the neutrals have looked at Notts County because of what's happened at Wrexham and went, 109 points, they have to go up. I think that people have sort of ignored how good a season that Chesterfield have had, and they've just all sort of focused on there's no way Notts County cannot go up with 109 points, surely. Although John Bostock did try his best with that stupid Panenka. Also, have you seen the, I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a screen grab, I believe, from the Notts County keeper's mum. I've sort of been texting him, he's come on for the penalties, oh fuck, and it's yeah, don't quite work out for you, hen. Yeah, he does very well. Saves terribly, doesn't he? But what do you reckon next season then McFly? So do you reckon you can hold on to the core of the team? Do you reckon that they can go back up again, or do you reckon it's just that was your opportunity and it goes back to being usual non-league way and come back in four seasons or something once you've re-recruited? Oh, that would have been a great counter-attack. It's always difficult to tell, isn't it? Keeney says don't see him getting a start at United next season. Reckon he could be loaned out again. 33 says I've had the joy of watching the side all season long. Of course you have, mate. Of course you have. And were you there on Saturday? That's the question. And of course, if you were, did you enjoy it the same as I did? It was brilliant, genuinely brilliant. Personally, I think Ahmad walks straight in the United side next season. 24 years of season ticket holder. I've never seen a more talented player than him in our shirt. Got to agree. Cannot disagree with that at all. He is, and again I said that to my mate, I was like, he is the most technically gifted footballer I've seen in the Sunderland shirt as well. He is top level. And you can just see that he can only get better. You know what I mean? I guess it depends upon what happens with the takeover, really, doesn't it? That's a disappointing goal to concede. If the takeover happens, which I believe it looks like it did, then are they going to be going all out to try and bring in, a big marquee signing or something? Is that what they're going to try and do? Possibly, But if they're not, then are they going to be sort of like sat there with, will Armagh get a game if they don't have the big signings? Yes, Richie, I did get a ticket. It was fantastic. Loved it. I thought the atmosphere was great. Really nice to sort of be back in the stadium. 6 years to the day actually since the last time I was at the stadium, which was really interesting. I saw it on my Facebook memories reminded me of that. And the post that I put up was good. It was when we played Swansea, and it was like one of the worst Sunderland teams that have been in there in recent years. It was Pickford's last season. And the thing that started with that game was just how good Pickford's distribution was. Every time he threw the ball or kicked the ball, it just landed at whoever he was aiming it for. He was brilliant. 0-0, like dreadful game against Swansea. And I put a post up about went to the football. Quite dull. The best thing I saw was a bloke who'd washed his car so nice it looked like it was new. That's just how bad the football was. Like, it was awful. But yeah, like very, very different experience. Very different experience about on Saturday. 33 was definitely there. Unbelievable, best atmosphere at the stadium like for a long time, many years. Went with no expectation at all. Now feel sick about tomorrow. I'm all in now. I'm absolutely all in now. It's got me. The football club does that to you. Unsworth. Probably the only game of Pickford's career has been able to do that. No, see, the thing is, Franco, I think that's a slight disservice. Again, like, people watch stuff with Premier League eyes. Like, Pickford's distribution, and a lot of Sunderland fans will tell you before he went to Everton, Pickford's distribution was amazing. So good. Like, you're looking at your Ramsdales and your Edersons, like, it's that level. Maybe even Alisson, possibly. Like, I know I'm maybe being slightly hyperbolic saying it's in that level, but it was top level. Like, hence why he's like, the national team's number one for so long. Like, those sorts of skills put you in contention, particularly if you're a counter-attacking side, which Sunderland were. Get Pickford to distribute it to somebody, like, and that was the plan. But the rest of the team was shit. It was really shit, actually. Like, and it's one of those, like. And he goes to Everton, and he's not. Who's he got to aim for now? Like Alex Iwobi, he's not going to be playing to his strengths, and also confidence players, aren't they? They're all confidence players, particularly goalkeepers. They need that. Let's go back and check out what else was being said. By the way, so. Franco's having a bit of Raggio baiting Norwich and Ipswich on the chat there. Nice. But Flyshaw says penalties were gutted, thought we deserved to beat Notts County. We've got a shot now with Wrexham County out. Team is there. Cook is decent. Hope there's no morale dip next season. Damjanovic. We're in a much better place than we were 5 years ago. The club is relatively stable. They've got a base to build on. That's what you want. Yeah. That's what you want. You want stability at a football club. You know what I mean? We're talking about a team that seems to have a plan now. Hopefully Chesterfield will got a plan as well. Richie's still got a sore throat. There you go. That's a man who had a great time. Keenan says they won't drop Anthony, not the money they spent. If they're selling, they've still got Sancho. Saw him on his here last season when Rangers didn't do much at all. See, Sancho's the outlier, isn't it? Like, did they take a hit on Sancho? They've got Garnacho as well. Or Garancho, sorry. I know he plays the other side, but are they going to put the faith in the youth? Who knows? Johnny D, if someone's doing well and giving hope, that allows me as a Minnesota Vikings fan to have hope. I mean, the season's not started yet, Johnny, so the Vikings should have hope. But the Vikings' ways, hope goes after about 3 games, doesn't it? What's your views for the next season, the NFL season? Like, have you all seen the schedule release videos that came out? Some absolute belters this season. I think shout out particularly to to the Jaguars, who obviously had the football is scripted, and this is how we make football. This is how we make television. This like 10-minute biopic, which I think was just superb, absolutely superb. And then the Browns was like a Royal Rumble, essentially like a cartoon Royal Rumble, which I think was narrated by The Miz. And obviously then sort of explaining what was going on with like who they were going to be playing. And then the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, what a video that was. Just to be like, right, you know, here we go, get a whole bunch of clearly people who didn't know what was going on, going, oh, guess the badge, and just getting some absolute mad-head answers, which was incredible. Appreciate the big shout out as well to the Arizona Cardinals. Someone had suggested that was called the what were they called, what did they call it with the Cardinals one? Was like this Saint Field Falcons or something. Oh no, it was the Falcons, wasn't it, that they did? And it was they actually just changed. I'm gonna pull it up here because I can get the right one. It was so good. Like trying to work out, like there was the 69ers, 49ers, like it's got the Steelers written on that. The Red Stallions, that was the one. Yeah, Red Stallions, and they changed their Twitter handle to the Red Stallions as well. The Colts had to change their Twitter handle to not the Cowboys because everyone kept saying that's the Cowboys. Problem in England now, everyone's fighting to stay in the Premier League. They want ready-made players. Youth players are lucky to get 20 minutes here and there. Diallo will be used infrequently, if at all. I mean, someone needs to just accept that the Premier League's not very good, don't they? That's the problem. But no one seems to be wanting to do that at the minute. I am still very much as much fun as going to Wembley to see Sunderland win would be, and it would be fun. It would be a lot of fun. There is still part of me that's like, I think we could do with them of the year in the Championship because it would be fun. It would be better. You know, give Mowbray another year. Like this side, just let them play together. Like let them play together. You know, just let the fans be happy. Don't go up to the Premier League. Like, it's awful. It's awful up there. The Vikings win a Super Bowl. That would be good for King. That would be good. I must admit, as a 49er, I'm still feeling pretty confident. I think we'll still be there or thereabouts again next season. Although the quarterback position sort of worries me a little bit. I know Purdy was like amazing last year. It was amazing last year. Like you can't do the numbers he did in the situation he did as a rookie without having someone about you. Obviously, Trey Lance is going to be sat around. He's no idea what's happening with him next year. And then the Sam Darnold brought in. Like, obviously Jimmy's gone, which I think I'm glad about, to be honest. I'm glad about. But we know that Jimmy's gone, and he's going to go and he's going to throw for thousands of yards, and he's going to look like an amazing player, and he's going to be healthy throughout the whole season. I mean, he won't be, but that's what we expect is going to happen. So it is going to be interesting to sort of see how we get. But yeah, I'm also pissed off as well that it's not the Jags versus the 49ers at Wembley. Like, I bought too much into the whole the Niners having a away game at the Jags. I was like, that's got to be London. That has to be London. There's no way that they would just go to Florida, and have an away game. I was like, if we're playing the Jags, it's got to be for a reason. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker. It's just not the situation. It's a regular season game in Florida. So no 49ers Jags for me this season. Oh, straight red for Bauer. I'm still pissed at Colts and Frankfurt. That's doable though, Raju. That is doable. Once you start looking at the price of everything, it's probably not much more expensive than London, really. But yeah, that's going to be a cracking game out there. My mate's trying to work out whether he's going to go to Frankfurt or not. I was like, I will not get a pass for that. Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis over the top. Then the Jags versus the Bills could be fun as well. That's at Tottenham, isn't it? It'd be good to watch the Bills because they've got a cracking side last season. It looks like they've obviously added to it as well. Keeney, my reason for support and following the Vikings is very strange. Oh, hang on, here's Murphy through. He just doesn't stop scoring, does he? Growing up watching football was all Celtic, nothing else. Started watching NFL late 80s. Thought a team wearing purple was strange. We didn't have that in the UK, so it became my team because of it. I mean, this, you're mentioning a good point here, Keeney. Like, obviously with football, we pick most of our football teams fairly straightforward. And I put a little there's a group on Facebook. This is twice a week's Facebook this month actually. There's a group on Facebook called Comedians Who Want to Talk About Football Away from Pricks, and we can just have, like, you know, reasoned discussion, but also comedians are pricks as well. So it often kind of get a bit sort of over the top. And I put this sort of post up in there about sort of saying, like, look, you know, you all know that I used to be a Villa fan, like, but I don't know if you knew beforehand, but, like, you know, with family circumstances prior to stuff that some people know about, some people don't, like, I was born and raised on the full end, essentially. And this is the situation, like, went and sort of changed my allegiance and ended up with Villa. Obviously stopped with Villa because of everything that was going on with Gerrard, and then, like, you know, not wanting to sort of be part of the Premier League and all that sort of stuff. Started following Sunderland when they were in, like, League One. Really got behind it, really enjoyed it. Went to the game on Saturday, like, and it's just got me back in. Like, I felt the connection once more. Like, with the NFL, there is something different because most of us don't have any connection to America. I presume. I had no connection to Villa, no connection to Birmingham at all. And you mentioned there about purple kits. I mean, Villa's claret is close enough. I think Hearts have got a maroon kit. That's close enough as well, right? But when it came to picking the NFL side, it kind of is a little bit like, right, what are you basing it on? What are you basing it on? And I hate to say, I was probably a bit of a glory hunter, because back when I picked NFL up, and we're talking about 88, 87, 89, something like that, the 49ers were running wild. Like, Jerry Rice was incredible, Joe Montana was incredible. Like, if you want to try and get into a sport and you're watching players like that, then that's going to get you into the sport. Yeah. So that was my team. Like, a lot of people chose the Dolphins. Dolphins, a very 80s team. Even like in the town that we were from, loads of Dolphins fans and Giants fans obviously as well. But if I was picking a team on colour scheme alone, then we'd have a different outcome. Part of me should have went with what is now the Washington football team, but thankfully, of course, there would have been connotations with that. But the town that I grew up in was called Washington, which of course gave its name to Washington DC. So that's the reason behind. If I was looking for a connection, that would have been a reasonable connection to make. But instead, didn't went with the 49ers, and yeah, got that. Like, yeah, you're right, Holst. Yeah, everyone's 49ers, Dolphins, or Bears, and you could get the shirts like in Matalan or something. Just everywhere you walk, or Raiders as well. You could always get the Raiders. It was just black with like the silver numbers on. Those like sort of aerated jerseys as well. The Frazier, of course, playing for the was he playing for the Dolphins, I think? At the time, yeah. That's 2 words. I'm a Colts fan. Peyton Manning. I mean, yeah, that's reasonable. That is reasonable. Like, I've got mates now who are Packers fans because they like the idea of the fan ownership. Like, that's a great thing. Like, I would look at the Packers and go, that colour scheme is pretty smart. That's pretty smart. But I don't like the idea of a cheese head. That puts me off. You know, the Jags. I'm again. Maybe I'm slightly idealistic or slightly romanticist, but if the Jags become the UK side, fine. Yeah, I'll be a Jag, okay? I mean, because I guess that's the closest thing to a UK franchise we've got. And I quite like it. You know, the Texans, I like JJ Watt, so I was like, I'll watch the Texans, and they were half decent, but no teams really grabbed me. The Niners grabbed me. And I'd say the Jags could grab me. For some reason, I was playing video games with the Packers, so I kind of follow them. That makes sense. They had a good setup. My mate's a New Orleans Saints fan. Tony, since I do soccer, I was started here in the Premier League here in Minnesota. It was Chelsea years on top of it, and all the blues have my favourite colour. Now Chelsea means nothing to me. I love the lower leagues. Oh, Johnny, oh, you're singing to me. You're singing to me right now. Like, I totally get it. I totally get how you're in that situation where you get swept up in the euphoria. But then I love the fact that you've sort of like looked at it and went, oh, you know what? Nah, there's more to this. There's more to this. I like the fact you've done that. That's beautiful. Really, really beautiful. So what's your lower league? Have you got your lower league side now, or have you or are you just sort of like do you just float about? I'm sure we've spoke about this before. JM best mate married into a Ravens family, so I guess that makes him my club. That's reasonable. Yeah, Moss is a big Ravens fan as well. Now I love the Snow and Cheese is a pretty appropriate team for the Packers. I guess so. That makes sense, Nige. There's just, I don't know if there's anyone ever sort of, you're looking at teams going, I wish I'd followed them. Because we have no connection. So we could technically just, follow anybody. So that is that thing about what's drawn you in. And I guess, it's just, it's like sort of watching, people from outside the UK going, okay, why have you chosen your team? Or what was the reason behind that? And it's great. Honest first local club I followed is Gateshead because of FM. We have talked about this, Johnny. We have. I know you've been in the stream for a while. I have been here for a while, and I forgot. I must admit, I'm terribly sorry that I forgot that you're a Gateshead fan. But yeah, no, we have spoken about that. Up the Heed. Shield United, but I used to work for. Sorry, you won't like this, but the guy I used to work for changed allegiance from West Ham to MK Dons. Talk to me about this at Arsenal, because there's only one way I can. Well, there's one way I can justify this. Apart from the fact that it's MK Dons, you shouldn't really be able to justify it at all, because it's horrible club. If he's from Milton Keynes, that's the only way I can justify that, right? But as JM is a AFC Wimbledon fan, then he is right to be horrified. But to be fair, being a West Ham fan is pretty bad as well. You know what I mean? So maybe he's a fan of grid road networks, possibly. Could be it. Or he likes Marshall amps. Some people make odd decisions, don't they? Here's me. That's leaving Villa to go back to Sunderland. No one goes back to there. Any Sunderland fan will tell you, if you've got a choice, if you have a chance to get out, you get out. You'd never go back. It's like going back to a burning building. Exactly, Keenan. Why would you support them? As I say, unless you're from there, I don't see how anyone would be okay. If I ever made it to a Gateshead match, first pint is on me. Let's make it happen, Johnny. Let's make it happen. I'll travel up the road for that. We'll do it. Oh, Wilson. Offside. Lives one town over from MK, so it's a fairly easy bus trip. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because obviously they never had a football team. I understand that. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand it. But they should still have tried to, qualify from the bottom. Yeah, go into the lowest leagues and then try and build their way up. Like Rangers, for example. Little joke. I'm sure there's some people there already seething going. Some people just like disaster. Yeah. To be fair, I grew up in Hemel Hempstead. No idea how I ended up with West Ham in the first place. I can't even tell you where Hemel Hempstead is. It feels southwest. Maybe? I don't know. Watford. Again, I'm not 100% sure. That's like Buckinghamshire, isn't it? I think. I've stopped off at Watford. I've gigged in Watford. It should be Luton or Watford van then. Yeah, probably. Oh, Hemel, right. There you go. Hemel Hempstead and Watford makes sense. I've got a mate who's a Hemel Hempstead fan. He's a Watford season ticket holder as well, but he now prefers the lower leagues. Goes to Hemel all the time. He's a comedian, so he's like just goes to watch whatever football there is when he's there. A guy called Eddie Brimson, actually. Have a look out for him. He's but it's going to sound really, really strange saying this. He's a former football hooligan, actually, turned comedian. He's written a couple of books, and he's got some stories. Very, very funny man. Very funny man. You could always, like, if you have a bit of time in his company, you're sort of like, yeah, you know what? He probably could have been a hooligan, actually. But yeah, no, top man. Damjanovic gets the Player of the Month award. 5 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. That's what we're talking about. That's what we bought him for. Johnny Grant from Huddersfield, representing as well. Damjanovic also second in the young players. Lucius Gial. He might be alright, man. Determination 19. Only 18 years old. Finished 16. Let's keep our eyes on him, actually. As a United fan, interested to hear what you think of Ahmad this season, asks Hack Out Sideways. We had a bit of a chat about Ahmad earlier, and as Richie said, dreadful, rubbish player. Just release him on a free. Like, make him stay. Make him stay at Sunderland as punishment. But no, in all seriousness, like, technically the best footballer I've seen at Sunderland. Like, in all my time of being there. Not uninterrupted, of course. There's people in the chat who've obviously been there completely uninterrupted, but we all agree at the same time, like, he's better than everyone else on that football pitch. Like, at that level, he is much better. He's got it all. Touch is great, vision's great, pace, finishing. He's one move ahead of everyone else. Like, he's just, yeah. Whether he makes it United or not, I still don't know. Maybe he does. It's difficult to sort of see him jump into that next step up, because it's a big step. But you know what? If he was given the time, yeah, maybe he could make the step up. Like, but how old is he? He's like, what, 21 still, I think now? 22 possibly? I don't know. Maybe you give him another year of, like, he needs football. That's the thing. He's at this point where he has to play week in, week out. Like, he can't go to United, sit on the bench and get 10, 15 minutes here and there and play in the cup games. He's got, as Franco says, yeah, he's got Rashford to beat off. He's got, rephrase that. He's got Rashford to overtake. He's got Sancho. He's got Anthony. He's got Garnacho, right? Where does he fit in? That's the thing. And then, of course, whoever else they look to buy at the same time as well. I think, and what I said, Hack, was even if Sunderland don't go up, right, that surely loaning him to Sunderland again wouldn't be the worst thing, because the difference between the top of the Championship and the bottom of the Premiership isn't actually that much. Like, in fact, you would argue the top of the Premiership is actually better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think the top of the Championship is actually better than the bottom of the Premier League. Like, he's got to learn to play against defences who sit deep. He learns the physicality of the Championship. Is that grueling schedule as well? And I genuinely think if there was a chance for him to stay, I think Sunderland should pull out all the stops to make it happen. And I think that his development would it would suit his development, to be honest. If Sassuolo have tried a bid for £3 million, I'm going to try a bid for £3 million here, because I think that's a silly thing that they're trying to do for this guy. But even Thomas, how are you, pal? Welcome. The reason that we're trying to bid now for Varajo is because there's been a bid come in for Gino. Now, what do we think, chat? Do you reckon we can get 15 mil, Franco? That's a lot, isn't it? How much do we bring him in for? 6.7. So we're going to make our money back, essentially. Here's the question. Is he going to play for us in the Premier League? No, he's not, is he? There's no way Gino plays for us in the Premier League. Although he's playing pretty well now and he's covering the chat. But I mean, look, even here, you can see that he's not one that we need to be keeping. Let's see if we can nudge it up a little bit. Let's go to 10 first of all. I don't think we'll get 15. I'll nudge it to 12. We'll keep that in there as well. So that's what? 13. I think he's going to kick off. Yeah. They're withdrawing the bid, yeah. See if a reasonable bid comes in. 11? Yeah. Right. Now here's the thing. 13 hours to go. Do we offer him out at 11? This is ridiculous that this might be a thing. Why are they accepting bids for 3 million quid for him? Is he transfer listed at 3 million quid? Unbelievable. He's obviously not going to be coming to us, but how strange. Contract running down, maybe. No. 2038, so he's got another 2 years left. But Sassuolo just went, well, we'll put a bid in for 3 million and just see what happens. And then everyone else sort of got wind of it and went, yeah, 3 mil. Let's do 3 mil. Let's see if that works, shall we? So, yeah, really weird. Evening, the United City FM. Welcome to you, sir. How are you? Welcome. I'm not even sure there's a release clause in either, is there? No idea at all. No idea. We've just word got around very quickly that he was available for a pittance, and we sort of went, oh, okay, cool, let's go for that then. Welcome, United City. Glad to hear that you're well. Nice to have you, and of course, also by the way, chat, if you haven't followed FMT Football Manager Therapy, go and make sure you do so. Again, another cracking episode this week, Kev. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Appreciate you creating more content for all of us to listen to. So yeah, go and drop it a follow, everyone, if you can do. I mean, much appreciated. I'm sure Kev would love that as well. Also Jebaru and Rich Owens as well. So, and of course White Callum. How could we forget White Callum? loving your time in FMT. You know what? You can tell. You can tell, Kev. Like, it's coming across really nicely. And I think the dynamic is definitely getting there, like, more and more. Each week, you can tell that you're spending more time in each other's company, and it's just, yeah, it's just working. It's working. I like it. Phil Freeman, he's not. I can't see him being a Premier League player next year. Right, Sunderland has signed Dennis Bess. I suppose we look to offer Kadorf out then for 11 million quid, don't we? Might find it difficult with the high wage demands. Yeah, probably. Yeah, might do. I bet he ends up going out on loan. How was January? January is looking good, to be honest, Kev. We've brought no offers for Kadorf. Transfer listener might help. I mean, I think we've done a dud there. I think we could have got rid of him. Man City have signed Varajo for 3 million quid. There you go. He's not available for loan, so $2,000. Get yourself in, mate. I mean, just over a year left in his contract. That's ridiculous. Right, Murphet doesn't want to join Mainz. That's good. He's playing well. Why would I want to sell him? Yeah. No. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I mean, we will obviously let him go. We'll let him go in the summer, which I guess is fine. We can do that then. As you say, there's no need to do it right now, is it? Look at that. Oof. Peterborough next in the FA Cup, then Huddersfield, Everton, Stoke, Watford, Carlisle. We should probably do some training, shouldn't we? Form is very, very good. Very good. Yeah, we're very happy at the minute, Kev. I'd like to be able to just copy that, but I can't. Put that there. That's going to be tactical. That's going to be match tactics, actually. That could be review. Tactics, teamwork. Actually, not set players. Switch this up a little bit. Sorry about that. You should play from the back. What we got? Where's play from the back? Transition, restrict, ball retention, ball distribution. That might be it. No, it's not, is it? Defending wide, defending from the back, attacking patient. Let's do that. Tactics, practice, recovery, shallow play. Right, yeah, that'll work. Keep it like that for now. There we go. Right. Nice. Had a good day meandering from Llama's stream to Kev to here. Kind of sofa day. That sounds like a pretty good sofa day, to be honest, though. Very good sofa day. Definitely can't complain day. Okay, Varajo rejects the chance to come here. That's fine. Do we need anybody specifically? That's the question, isn't it? Like, do we desperately need anything? We could probably still do with a ball-playing defender. I mean, I guess there's one that just sort of jumps out right here, doesn't it? Jumping reach 17. Determination 17. Leadership 15. Teamwork 16. Vision passing. Plays through balls, knocks the ball to the opponent, moves the ball left. Yeah, loved it, Kev. We've been chatting about it, and we're a backup right back if you're not convinced of Bell. Yes, good point. Or a first team right back if we're not convinced about Maxo. Yeah, no, it was brilliant. It was brilliant, Kev. Genuinely, we had a lovely time. Great performance. Watching the team play really, really well was very, very exciting. Just like not. We've said before, like, not panicking at all. Like, big question is, do we need Paul Ward? Yes, we do. Yes, we do, the Arsenal. We absolutely do. And even if we don't need him, yes, we do need him. That's the thing. Are we gonna sign him? That's a different question. But we do need him. But we're not gonna sign him, I don't think. I'm gonna try and resist. Whatever the question, Paul Ward is the answer. Could be true. It could be true, Zeep. Now we've got to find a half decent right back. There must be a half decent right back somewhere. David Clark, hi Tony. I hope you decision to stay at Taunton. Or hope you're well decided to stay on a Taunton, rebuild the squad for the season. Nice, good shout, David. To be honest, I think you made the right choice there. To be honest, staying at Taunton, keep it like if that's the purpose of the save, I would do that. I would try and make it that one club save. You said you wanted to be like Zealand and try and get that done. So I think you made the right choice there, David. Nice to have you in as well, by the way. Not seen you around for a while, so hope life is treating you good. If Paul Ward isn't the answer, you're asking the wrong questions. I guess there is a lot to be answered for, innit? There's a lot to be said for Paul Ward. I almost feel like he's like sort of, like all the questions that they ask and the answer is Shaq. Feels like it's like that, but with Paul Ward, we maybe need to do like a little bit of a sort of a remix, should we say? And Fali Mariko, Bravery 19. Anticipation only 12, but he's only 20. He's 6'4". Tackling's only 11. Passing's 14. Marking's only 11. He's not great, really, is he? As a Nicky Mallon could maybe play there, I suppose. Week off work, recovering from night hours, Saturday doing FM and catching on streams and Discord chat. Nice. Sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a very good idea, actually. Chris Bernard. Esperance. We're not going to get Esperance out. Yes, definitely get some more. He will improve, Nige, but I think the question we've got is how long are we at Palace for? Like, we're all enjoying Palace, right? We all like Palace. What's the crack next season? If we work on the assumption we get promoted, then what? Do we throw all of our eggs into one basket and try and win a cup? Is that the plan? Because we're now at the point of the season where we have to start thinking about this. We can't take our eyes fully off the league because we've got to basically focus and make sure we get promoted. But also, like that thing about next season, right? What do we do? Win everything. Win the whole fucking lot. Improve quality and go after a cup. I mean, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Like if we could actually have a bit of momentum. Because the squad's pretty decent, I think. Looking for a second, third tier right back behind Maxwell and Bell. Yeah, but I was about to say something really stupid there, so I've stopped myself. Right, I've stopped myself because I was about to say, "Oh yeah, but he's like 5 million quid," and I'm like, "Yeah, we're quite a way into the game now. 5 million quid is probably reasonable for a championship right back." So I am learning. I am learning slowly here. The fact we have zero transfer budget could be a slight hindrance. It could be a slight hindrance. So we get back into the loan market. Or free transfers. There might be someone released on a free. Or we try and see if someone can be... if we can sell someone, I guess. Squad depth. I think... part of me thinks that the depth of the squad, and I'm aware this is going to get clipped and played back to me when we inevitably have an injury crisis in about 3 weeks. Part of me thinks that we're okay for squad depth. Maybe. I'm aware what I've just said is definitely going to come back and bite me on the arse. Definitely. Time to check the job screen. I mean, you, Arsenal, seriously, you know how easily swayed I am. And I know, Kev, I shouldn't have said it out loud. Like, I'm a fool to myself. I saw it coming a mile off. I was just like, oh, I've said it. Should we just have a look for a new job now because we know that this is going to end up in tears? This one's for you, Arsenal, by the way. Just have a quick nosy. West Ham and Sheffield United. It's nothing, is it? Birmingham, Carlisle, Hearts. Nah, there's nothing we need. There's nothing we need. We're okay unless 5 or 6 injuries hit together. One player losing his head. I can imagine that. But 11 players? I don't think that's going to happen. Mr. Burns, we've lost 11 first teamers. Uh-oh. I feel as though we're about to start getting into the the realms of Mr. Burns and his team of ringers. Murphet wants to join Wolfsburg. I mean, it's not. He's not met the £19 million, has he? I don't really want him to go. That would definitely destabilise a few things. And Darryl Strawberry play right back. Yeah, £9 million up front. Not good enough. Not good enough. Now, let's get that value back up. Right, let's see if we can we nudge our way through this deadline day without getting caught up in madness. Offer him a new deal. Shave those sideburns, DJ. My cat. Yes, ma'am. Oh, wow. Springfield Gorge. He's got a contract of 2040. We're currently in 2036, I think. See if he wants to have a new deal. He's unhappy, so he's not bothered. No. He hates it. 2039 for the cure. He's wanted by Leeds, Blackburn, Rangers, West Ham, Wolves, and Leon. You know, the obvious ones. Right, we're Caffrey at Leicester. Let's remove him because we don't really need him right now, do we? Just, do you reckon there's can we just like turn our clocks forward just a couple of hours, 2 more hours to get through here? We might be able to do it. Murphy's going nowhere apparently. We've said it. He's not going. Right, close the window. Close the window. 30 minutes to go. We're spending the cash, aren't we? Biggest spenders, £35 million for QPR. Transfer window slams shut, I believe. There we go. Sorted. Deadline day passed. Hopefully, that's worked. Peterborough in the fourth round of the FA Cup, then Huddersfield. Huddersfield sat third in the Championship. We set them up well, didn't we? We definitely set them up well. Heads about Wilson. It feels like he should be getting more playing time. I mean, now's not the time, right? Like literally. The transfer window was just closed, and now you're like, Gaffer, I don't, don't mean to cause any problems or anything, but can I leave? Question for you guys for Football Podcast about the EFL. What else is a good general EFL show? I listened to not the top 20, but looking for other options. Good question, actually. What is good for the EFL? I must admit, I tend not to get involved in too much real world stuff, to be honest. But any suggestions, chat? Throw them in there, and I might pick up some of these as well. Actually, have a little listen to them. Have we had many draws this season? We've not really. 3 draws, 7 defeats is what we have had though. Booster, that's not good, is it? We're 7 goals better off than QPR. We're 2 points better than QPR as well. So if we can keep that. Speaking of podcasts, are we ever coming back? I hope so, Arsenal. Need some news on that. Desperately. We're still waiting. I had another idea for a different podcast, actually, just while we're talking podcasts. And I had an idea of a podcast about ways to make football better. So each week we'd look at something that's in the game and be like, oh, come on, do we really need this? And like, so things like the short goal kick, we could discuss why that's even a thing. Because to me, I don't care. I don't know how long it's been in the game, but it just looks wrong. Just let your goalkeeper take a goal kick, right? Stop little tippy tappies in the area. It's nonsense. Also, next episode, footballers should only be allowed to wear coloured boots as if they're belts in martial arts. You can't have someone who's brand new in the lower leagues coming on with like bright orange boots. Sorry, you're not good enough. You're not good enough for orange boots. Short corners that achieve fuck all. Yeah. The discussion about 90 minutes worth of playtime. Let's have that. Sorry, Keeney as well. You also mentioned for a player lookup. Give me a player lookup. Sorry, by the way. Taking the centre with one man. Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of that? Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Putting the ball on a plinth as well. As if it's like, oh my God, it's the match ball. Like, it's just a football. Goals, do we need them? Just kick it over the line anyway. What do corner flags actually bring the game? Really? You know? Occasionally they hit them, the ball stays in. But apart from that, right? Arsenal had their whole back five wearing orange boots yesterday, and that's why we aren't winning the league this year. Exactly. Tony Adams wouldn't wear orange boots, would he, Arsenal? No, he would not. Imagine Tony Adams in a pair of orange boots. You can't imagine it. That boy Whittingham from Stoke, Young Player of the Month. Oh, yes. He's on loan from Villa. He looks handy, doesn't he? He does look handy. Why use posts and not just jumpers? Or use VAR, draw a goal in. No one really sees what the goal is, and then VAR tells you whether it's a goal or not. So you're sitting there, like, someone takes a shot, and you're like, oh, it might have gone in, and then it just flashes up on the screen, goal, and everyone's like, oh, fuck, goal, like, and just amazing, and everyone just cheers away. You would never know. You would never know. That could make it more exciting, couldn't it? Yeah. Short sleeves and gloves, what's the point? Where's long sleeve football shirts as well? Why have they got rid of long sleeve football shirts in favour of Under Armour? Or base layers? Don't get it. Penalties, nah. No goalkeeper, next goal wins. Yes, I like that as well. Just literally an open goal, but you've got to shoot from like further back every single time. So when you miss, that's it. So like, your first one is obviously the penalty spot, and then it gradually, like, it's one step back every single time. Do that. That'd be fun, actually. I'd quite like that. I think I'd watch that. If you can't have corner flags, imagine what Watford would use for 20 times a season when they change manager. Good point. Good point, actually. You wouldn't be able to see it. Their post would be irrelevant, wouldn't it? What's the players in bras now? Matty, you know the answer to this, don't you? I feel as though, like, well, I feel as though we all know the answer to this one, but I just want to double check first of all. You do know, right? Also, who's ever had cramp? I don't believe any footballer's ever had cramp. But when it gets to 75 minutes, 80 minutes in a big game, oh, they all come down with cramp. They all come down with cramp. No. It's not women's football. Oh no, it's the data collectors. It's where they get their pedometers and stuff, and their trackers and the heat maps. It's all censored in there. That's why they wear them. So yeah, that's why they have to wear them. It's for the data analysts. Yeah, heart monitors and that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can work out exactly where people are. So you can work out how hard they're working, like how often they're sprinting, distance that they've covered, all that sort of stuff. Goalkeepers with cramp, not a thing. Goalkeepers with baseball caps, that's gone. That's gone. You don't see that anymore. I definitely like the idea of mic'd up referees, though. That was obviously mentioned before as well. Mic'd up referees, absolutely. A chip in the arse would be easier than jiggling around with all the kit. Yeah, keepers in joggers. I mean, yes. But the thing is, though, if you didn't have keepers in joggers, you wouldn't have Gabo Kirai. So, the Lord gives with one hand and takes with the other, doesn't it? So, the plastic pitch as well. Bring that back. Or not even plastic pitch, a slanty pitch, like proper shit football pitch. Bring that back. That's what we need. Because everyone says, "Oh, the Premier League's brilliant. The Premier League's the best league in the world." No, the Premier League's just faster. That's all it is. But you strip away nice grass and put like one of the old pitches on. You know that had like the drainage systems, like the hump in the goal. Bring them back. That's what I'd like to see. That would make football better. Met with a goal, even one club champ. How are you, pal? Welcome in. The centre of the pitch is a foot higher than the wings. Lovely. Exactly. Before Kira, you had Billy Thompson, Dundee United, and Rangers that played in goal long johns every week. Yeah. Jim Leighton felt like he should have worn long johns, but he didn't. He's just Jim Leighton. Amazing. I know that the hiatus feels semi-permanent at Arsenal, but I am trying. We are trying desperately to get something back in whatever shape, form, or whatever we can do. Down to Lewis Maxo. Should have put the ball in better. Should have been better cross. Maybe he's only had a couple of cans. Howard Webb was on about making up referees on a Monday Night Football, but apparently FIFA won't allow it. Interesting. Sunderland Newcastle match and the thunderstorm was a joy too. Yeah. Oh, the one where they just dinked it over the top. With Kevin Phillips dink. Beautiful. Have you been eating too many desserts, experienced a sugar rush, Tony? Was this podcast idea to make the game better or just to create total and utter chaos? Bit of both. Keepers with padded elbows. Yes, Matty, that's what we need back. Padded shoulders and padded elbows. At what point did they decide keepers didn't need that and just cut their sleeves off? Like, if they're not protected species, then you know what? No pads for them. Let them get clattered like everyone else. That's what I think. But you're right, Kev. It could just be a little bit of a sugar rush or a lack of sugar, possibly sugar deficiency, maybe. Lovely ball through. Daniel Day-Lewis. Got to finish that. You know what we don't need in football? Topless Geordies. True. Instead, keepers have gloves longer than marigolds. Yeah. Like, is it just me, right? Or do all goalkeepers' hands seem to have got bigger? I don't know whether that's a thing or not. It just feels like that's a thing. I'm not sure. Get some more hydration. I appreciate you, Luffy. Apart from Pickford's hands, yeah, he's got normal-sized human hands. Right? Stop referring to games as derbies when they're not two teams from the same town or city. Yes. Also, as well, stop shit football club banter. Like, you know what's really funny? Spurs being Spursy. Spurs are still probably the 5th best team in the country, or 6th best team in the country. It's not. I think most teams in the '92 would kill to be Spurs. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's face it, Southend aren't sitting there being like, look at them, you know, because like they're Southend. So yeah. Arsenal have bottled the title. Arsenal have been beaten by a massive sports washing operation. Like, they've not lost the title. They've not bottled the title. You know. Man City have a player who scores hat tricks in like 9 minutes. Like, you know, Arsenal don't have those players. Half and half scarves. Yes, they can get in the bin. Football tourism, that can go. Man City could lose their last two. I mean, it's unlikely though, isn't it? It's not beyond the realms of possibility. What a ball that is! What a header by Damjanovic. There's a bit of this club did this, therefore lol, crap banter. Facebook is bad for that. Oh yeah, 100%. It's just rubbish, isn't it? It's absolutely rubbish. Kids begging for shirts. Yeah, that can fuck off as well. Like, nah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't go... The way that I look at the whole kids begging for shirts thing, you wouldn't go to the Formula 1 and, like, have a sign out that says, Lewis Hamilton, can I have your tyre? You know? Lewis Hamilton, can I have your helmet? It's just stupid, isn't it? Can I have your front wing? Yeah. Kids ruin football. I think essentially that's what we're looking at here. Yeah, kids ruin football. Lewis, can I have that steering wheel? It's pretty much that, isn't it? Oh, Lewis, can I have your fireproof overalls, please? It's not a thing, innit? Yeah, I've realised once I'd said that Arsenal, I was like, actually, you know what? That's possibly that's possibly going to get clipped as well. There's been a couple of times I've said things that have been a little bit that could be interpreted in very much that's what she said. Definitely don't want to use F1 tyre. Well, yeah, it's not going to go on a Vauxhall Nova, is it? Just frame it on your bedroom wall. This is Mika Hakkinen, you know, from his lap 42. at the Hungaro ring. Isn't that just an old tyre? Yeah, it is, yeah. I had a sign though, asked if I could have it. Didn't you make a career out of? That's what she said. Oh no, not me, Kev. Like I would love to be able to, but sadly I tried writing other jokes, and that was harder, much harder. Did to roll down a hill, though? Possibly, yeah, or maybe down like a lazy river, or if you had a monkey, you put it in the garden, and let them swing on it. I'm more of a gorilla, I suppose, than a monkey. But also, not many people have gorillas in their gardens. And if you do have a gorilla in your garden, you've probably already got a tyre anyway, so. What was the best gag you ever wrote? It's a difficult one, that one. It was a difficult one. Because I never really wrote gags, you see. Like most of my stuff was stories, but there would have been gags within it. I'm not trying to think. I had a joke that essentially became a premonition. I don't know if I ever told this one. I had a bit of material where I was talking about. High streets closing down. So like your Woolworths, your like Woolworths and Jessops and all those sorts of things. And I said, so we'll get to the point where the high street is just going to be one bloke at the bottom of the street with an iPad saying, I'm doing Amazon, or does anybody want anything? And obviously wrote that pre-pandemic, and turns out that's pretty much how life is now in the on the high street. So my timing's all over the place. God, I'm stage rusty. I had a very good routine about buying jeans. Eden J, how are you, pal? Welcome in. Peter got themselves what could be a consolation. Hopefully not much more than that. News isn't the 5th round of the FA Cup though, if we can hold on. There we go. 5th round of the FA Cup incoming. Is it the 6th round that becomes the quarters? I think it is, isn't it? So not too bad. I think the expectation was just be competitive, so I'll class that as good. I think the previous chat, of course, was saying that what we do with this club is we stay unless a massive job comes up. I think that's a fair idea. So Everton, Huddersfield, and Everton next. In Leeds, try building a new shopping centre, and all that happened was all the shops in the centre moved into leaving the centre half empty. Yeah, it's all a bit like, the thing is, it's all a bit crap in it, the way that the shopping centres and city centres now look. They all look exactly the same. You know, they all look the same. Instead of human referees, get ref box like one of the ones on Robot Wars. Some would argue there'd be no difference. Some would argue they'd be better. What would happen in the rain, though, Dan? If you had AI, I'm sure they could be, waterproof and weatherproof. But imagine that they weren't. Imagine they weren't. They just malfunctioned on the pitch. It'd be excellent. And then send Andrew Madley on instead. How many teams have you been, Tony? I haven't been around since Ireland, just wondering. So, this is what we've done so far. We have been at Banbridge, we've been at Portadown, we've been at Dungannon, Linfield. Then we also went to Oxford, East Fife for a little bit, Huddersfield, and Crystal Palace. So there you go, that's where we are now. And it's been pretty fun, to be honest. It's been pretty fun. So I think we're in a good spot right now. Hopefully, second season with Palace. Try and sort of like get them just to nudge up, push our way onto the Premier League. Hopefully, 20 teams going to the hat for the 8 matches we've drawn. Arsenal, Man City, Wrexham, and Ipswich. There's the big teams right there, isn't it? Eldon Square, Newcastle, Metro Centre, pretty interchangeable. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Leeds away. They are Premier League. Murphet against Leeds. That would be handy, wouldn't it? Two, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 league games left. Okay. I'm just trying to think like in terms of the amount of streams we've got left for this season, because I'm not going to be on Friday. So myself and Mrs. J, it's our wedding anniversary on Thursday, so we're not going to be around on Friday because we're going to go away. And then Monday we'll be fine. It's the Monday after that we might have that we're desperately hoping to not be around. Like, you know, in a nice way, we're hoping not to be around, but it's like, yeah, let's basically hope that we've got tickets for the playoff final. You know, that's where we are. Golubovic wanted by Cologne. Playoffs in next Monday, 29th, isn't it? So yeah, 22nd we're still here. 29th obviously will be the one that we hope that we're there for. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Tell you what, let's bring Roberts up. Let's put Roberts there. Just he's more fit. If he needs to jump on, he can jump on. Oh no, streamer fans outdoors is never a good combo. I know. It's not fun, is it, Kev? Shit day to pick for a final. It's always been the way, hasn't it? They always do it on the bank holiday. It's usually fun. Should be fun if they get up next season. Yeah, it should be. I mean, to be fair, I'm not massively fussed either way, to be honest. Championship's much more fun than the Premiership anyway. But yeah, if they come up, cool. Hopefully it just means we can actually get some. Hope that it's interesting, because I don't think that they'll change the side a great deal. I think the recruitment will stay the same, and it'll just be very sort of similar, young, exciting players. Like that Ekwa, by the way, was amazing. He was just all over the place. Like, really, really good. Really good. Up the Black Cats indeed, Wilco. 6 points. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Dave. Morally, any points, though. Morally is 0 points, right? That's the way you got to look at it. I remember the stand-up special a few months ago when the Amazon gag was a big, oh God, it's true moment. Yeah. Mad, innit? You didn't get a bonus stream on Saturday, we got stuck with Eurovision. Now you want to lose us to Bank Holiday Monday. Feel like you're prioritising your own life over us. No, not really, Arsenal. This is just literally a one-off thing. After that, we go back to me being at your beck and call. After that, I can sacrifice my family. Hayes is through. Good save. It's the Tony Jameson derby, of course. Huddersfield versus Crystal Palace. Oof. Biggs, of course, back against his former club. signing in the January transfer window from Huddersfield. Huddersfield obviously beat us 3-0 at the start of the season, so we kind of have to like get our revenge. Can't you stream for your anniversary dinner? Maybe, actually. That's a good point. That's Mrs. J if she's fine with that. She'll probably be alright with it, to be honest. To be fair, I think Mrs. J will be just like, oh, do what you want. Like, to be fair, if it's that or listen to me talk, then she'll probably just tell me to go on stream. Perfect, saved. After that, kind of sacrifice my family looking for Mrs. J, isn't it? There's some nights Mrs. J will probably just be like, yeah, just get on with it. Deep in the second half of anniversary dinner and bad news, there's no trial for dessert. What? Where are we? Oh, God, yeah, imagine the desserts I'd have on an anniversary stream. Oh. That'd be spot on, wouldn't it? Maxo whips the ball in, Damjanovic at the header on that post. Maxo clearly having a lager shandy, turbo shandy. Daniel Day-Lewis, Maxo. Biggs. Back post for Z. Saved by Rachel, man. So I was imagining you streaming anniversary dinner and my mind wandered. Yeah. I think it's good to consider those things. Would the anniversary stream be candlelit? Probably. Although no, it would have to have the RGBs on, wouldn't it? Turbo Shandy, man's best thing ever. Yep. Break out the 90s candles, 90s candies. Yes. Could do, couldn't we? Half the restaurant runs out as Tony reads his third page of Mike Lowen's book. Dessert-a-thon stream. Can only start the stream if he takes it. They can't take another bite. Like man versus dessert. Occasional FM playing just to slow things down a little bit. He's cheating. He's making substitutions. Gino didn't get his move to Wolfsburg in the end, did he? Oh, look at this lovely movement from Palace. Down there, Lewis. Z. Murphet. How's Rachel saved that? 11 shots, 8 on target, 58% of the ball. Still 3 points ahead of QPR. Huddersfield, 1 shot. That's all they've had. 0.04 XG. Yikes. Right. We can exact revenge. If Sunderland go up, do you think they can stay up? Probably, Luffy. I think like, initially when I thought about it, I was like, no. But now I've thought about it. The bottom of the Premiership's a bit shit. Really. Like, so, yes, I think they probably could. Like, it's maybe not a guarantee. They maybe go towards the end of the season, but I certainly don't think that there's that many teams. Like, the way the Premier League's set up is there's essentially 6 teams and everyone else can possibly get relegated. Like, that's how it is. And that's sort of how I see it, really. I think they'll take a pasting off like the Man Cities and all that sort of stuff, as most teams do. But against Fulham, you're probably going to get a half decent. You might be able to get a result. Bournemouth, you might be able to. So Brighton, maybe it's a bit of a battle. You might look to try and nick something if you can. Wolves, get something. Like, and then it depends upon who comes up, obviously, as well. So you want to be sort of like trying to target those teams that came up with you, get your points there. But yeah, the point is that the fact that the Premier League is actually pretty bad. It's not like every team is brilliant. It's just every team's got money. That's the only thing. Like, Burnley look pretty strong, so they might sort of be quite a difficult challenge. But then again, they had good games against Sunderland in the league. So Daniel Day-Lewis opens the scoring. If Leeds stay up, there's a good battle to be had. If Everton stay up, there's a battle to be had. Southampton, of course, have already gone down. West Ham, they're nothing special, are they? They'll lose Declan Rice, they'll get Calvin Phillips probably. And then, then of course, then's the Newcastle. So, and who knows what'll happen there? Like, who knows what goes on at that point? So, yeah, I don't think that they'd be as bad as they wouldn't be as bad as they were the last time they were in the Premier League. I don't think. I certainly don't think that there are, like, the way that they play football wouldn't be as bad. The players aren't as bad. There's an identity about the club now, so it wouldn't just be fill the team full of like old Man U players and just random Czech Republic signings. There's a thought process that goes on now, so I'd like to think there's a plan. That's what I reckon. So yeah, looking at who's still left on the table in the league. Yeah, I think they'd stay up. It might not be a guarantee, but is it true Donald's still got a stake in the club? I think so. It's quite depressing, isn't it, when that's true? But I think he does. So Murphet's going to have to come off. He's tiring a little bit. Who's going to come off for? I don't know. If you're doing the playoffs, I wouldn't mind Ahmad going back on loan. Yeah, you know what, Jay? Well, we've been talking about that. Like, again, trying to use that exact same argument. Like, the bottom half of the Premier League versus the top half of the Championship. Like, what's more competitive? I think everyone would say it's the top half of the Championship now, to be honest. From what you say, Sunderland seem to be in a good place these days. You worried being in the Premiership might be bad for it. Not massively, because I don't think that they're going to just go out and just buy players for the sake of it. I think they're in a spot where they're actually going up with if they go up, they're going up with confidence. They're winning games, and that's a good mentality to be in. That always helps. Like, I think that as Sunderland fans have said already, this is probably the best Sunderland team we've had in living memory. Really, the players might not all be household names. Yes, there's players in there who are on loan. Yes, there's players in there who are probably not going to make it to the Premier League. Like, we've done incredible without a recognised centre forward as well. Like, Ross Stewart's obviously been out all season pretty much. He's played like 10 games or something like that. So to score as many goals we have without an out and out striker, that's pretty impressive. I guess what you look at is, right, what are the areas we could look to improve upon? Can we get those players in? If they're permanent signings, brilliant. If they're loan signings, fine. Just, I guess that the board and sort of the recruitment side of things, you can't really question whether they're going to do it right, because at the minute it seems like they're doing it right. So you would hope, with the attraction of the Premier League for other players, that you'd be able to get players maybe who might fancy it. I know they've managed to get players in who you sort of go, wow, how have they got them? Like players like Leaji and like Mishu and things like that. Like, they're coming to Sunderland now in the Championship. Like, you get in the Premier League, you've got other little players who can sort of like potentially be options. Oh, what a goal that is from Martian. The 99-2000 team wipes the floor of the current squad. I mean, they had Miroslav Klose, I guess. So that's the thing. But in terms of the actual team, Keeney, I'm not unsure. You could be right. I don't know about wipes the floor. I think Kevin Phillips definitely gets in, right? I think Julio Arca definitely gets in. And I think Mickey Gray could probably get in at left back over Kirkin. Alex Ray will be a good shout in midfield, but I think that Patrick Roberts is probably slightly better than Alan Johnston. I think Jack Clark is probably slightly better than Nicky Summer, but Nicky Summer was amazing, by the way. So, Danny G, Daniel Day-Lewis seems like a great player. He is. He's very, very good, Danny. We're very, very happy to have him in. We paid good money for him, but he's starting to get the goals now. So hopefully that's going to help move us up towards the Premier League, ironically. So fingers crossed. I think Kevin Ball probably gets in just because he's Kevin Ball. But I don't think Sorensen in 99, 2000, or what, it would have been Perez, I think, wouldn't it, maybe? Was it Sorensen? Sorensen, I think. Sorensen in 99, 2000 isn't better than Patterson. He goes on to become better, but yeah, I think I think Pritchard is very good. I think Pritchard's better than Gavin McCann. I know they're slightly different players. I think Ahmad is definitely better than whatever wasn't there. Really, we didn't really have a number 10. It was obviously Quinn and Phillips. It was a number 9 and a number 10. It was like 2 up front. So playing slightly differently. I think centre backs, we've never really been blessed with centre backs, to be honest. So, and I think that right back, I think that, you know what, I like Luke O'Nien. I think he epitomises this Sunderland team of just, he will not stop trying. Like, he'll not stop trying. You know, he gives it all. I mean, Chris Macon at right back, yeah, it was very, very good. Very good. I don't know, like, I love that 99, 2000 team so much. I just think this football team can play. Like, and you all know me. You know that I'm a Peter Reid, 99, 2000, direct, counter-attack, long ball. That's my jam, right? But I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at this new team, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Imagine Kevin Phillips in this team. Oh, imagine that. Imagine how good that would be. Yeah, Ballard's brilliant. Kirkin's great. Jody Craddock could get in. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's all. I think the key thing with this is, okay, and what we're finding here, and what is good comparisons, is that neither of those two sides were full of superstars, quote unquote superstars. They were players who just gave 110% for the shirt. And that's, I've said it time and time again, that's all Sunderland fans want. Sunderland fans just want the players to go out on the pitch, run for 90 minutes, 120 minutes, whatever it has to be, and give as much effort as anybody would if they were called up to go out from the stands and play. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, that they would be like, right, if I got the call somehow to then be on the pitch, every single fan would try their hardest, irrespective of whether they were good enough or not. And that's all the fans want from any player that turns up to play for Sunderland. Try as much as I would, and you've actually got some ability. Like, you know, that's where it is. And I think that what we've got and what we're seeing now is players who can actually play as well. I saw more back heels on Saturday than I ever saw in the entire legacy of Peter Reid's Sunderland. And I loved Peter Reid's Sunderland. Imagine back heels in the Howard Wilkinson era. Imagine that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Completely different styles. Don't set up a 2 up front like Quinn and Phillips now. Current squad would crumble against that. The old team would against a new 4-4-3. 4-3. Yeah, so you're kind of like, yeah, it's apples and oranges in a sense, Keeney, but like trying to sort of work out of those players who would drop straight in. Like, Quinn would be amazing because if you brought him on now, he would be your Patrick, your Ross Stewart. really. So, big, strong, powerful, pressing forward. You could still play with him. Sunderland kind of want to, but we can't. He's injured. So instead we've got Gelhardt up front, which is obviously where Super Kev would play. Ahmad just behind, playing like the number 10 role, or sort of like drifting a little bit. Paddy Roberts sometimes playing in there. Clark plays out on the left. Ahmad goes out on the right. Like, I know Roberts is a little bit... Is he one-footed? I don't know. He does cut in on his left. Fine. He cuts in on his right. Fine. Yeah, he's still a good player, isn't he? He's still a good player. Danny Dicchio is shite. Wouldn't get a game for either team. Oh, 100%. 100%. Danny Dicchio is abysmal. Stefan Schwartz, however, there's a player. There's a player. See him in this team would be lovely. Just making things tick. Andy Melville. I mean, look, give me Marco Gabbiadini up front. That's what I'd like to see. But yeah, different teams from different eras, I'm aware, but trying to sort of look at the best players in that team, and they were the best players. You know, putting them in this team now, it's like they would be great. They'd be brilliant. Making it fullback, yeah. Dickie was half good at QPR. Yeah, half good at QPR. You're right. But I think he's one of those players that you never wanted your club to sign him. There was never a sort of like, oh, getting Danny Dicchio. That's brilliant. Just like, oh god, Danny Dicchio. What's gone wrong? Like, why is he here? Half good also means half shite. Exactly. Zeke, yeah. Also, we've got Lee Clark. Would have been in the Sunderland midfield as well. Uh-oh. Nice ball through. Damn it. Batista bomb. He's a bit of a knob. He is a bit of a knob. It was great through ball, and you know it's a lovely finish as well. To be honest, and this is the thing, we can appreciate the opposition. Doyle's giving the ball away there for Palacios. That's not what we want. Here's me saying, yeah, we can appreciate that. Kevin Kyle coming through, yeah. Michael Bridges as well. There's an undervalued, underappreciated player, I think. Uh-oh, done again. Good block. I have to drop off a bit. Would you put Henderson or Catamore on the current side? I think Henderson 100%. But then again, Catamore epitomises the current side. If it moves, kick it. But Henderson actually had a bit of ability to play. I think Henderson would love captaining this Sunderland side. Do you know what I mean? Like, he would love it. I mean, even someone like Jermaine Defoe in there. Like, imagine Jermaine Defoe running onto through balls. Goal central. Cameron Jones up front. Oh, yes. I've so wanted Cameron Jones to be good. Josie Altidore, maybe less so. Patrick Mboma. Oh, hang on, we're through. Daniel Day-Lewis. I'll tell you what, John O'Shea wouldn't be in this side. Neither was Phil Bardsley. Corey Evans has been out injured most of the season as well. Wouldn't surprise me if Doreen got any chance next season. Ends up with his days on Merseyside are numbered. Oh, what are you doing? Kevin Jones, ex-Wednesday. Ex-Southampton as well, I think, possibly. Oh, Henderson, sorry, all right, there, yeah. Predictive text has done you over there, isn't it? It's a weird one, Henderson, because I mean, he's kept himself as fit as he possibly can, given the fact that he's got an injury that he's going to have to just live with for the rest of his life, really. Would he come back? Maybe. Would he be off the pace? Maybe. Have we got players around him who would allow him to be in the side? Essentially, like, you know, like could you like, have you got some energy around him so he can then just sort of like pick things up and dictate the play? That's what we need to do. Speaking of Wednesday, that first leg was bloody hilarious. Oh, yeah, Blade. It was just crazy, wasn't it? Like, obviously you've got a vested interest in the result. He come back to you for the narrative, 100%. Just bought Alex Scott season 1 Leeds. Is he worth it? I don't know, David. People in the chat might know. I've not bought him, especially not at that level. Because obviously we just sort of we played this really. Northern Ireland, he wasn't available. But yeah, if anyone in the chat's bought Alex Scott, let David know. Whether it's worked out well or it's worked out badly. Surely you're cheering on the posh lads. Yeah. Absolutely. After our exploits with Sheffield Wednesday and the Athletic. Ugh. Yeah, we struggled. Everyone struggled. On the other card as well. Doing a Leeds rebuild. Nice. Just done deadline day. End of the Premier League days were over, full stop. You're probably right, to be honest. He hasn't really got the physicality, he hasn't got the energy to keep up. He's not someone like Milner, who's like barely got injured ever and kept himself like in peak physical condition. And we sort of, we all say, you know, Milner's not going to play 35 games at Brighton. Like, we know he will. He absolutely will. You know, he's been cryogenically frozen like each summer. Maxo drills it against his own player. Perfect. Maxo back inside. Oh, nice little idea. Maxo, Biggs. Loses it. We know what he eats, he'll be fine. Yeah, he eats dull. He eats dull for Christmas. That'll do. Murphy getting the ball away. Right, Hayes isn't really having a great game. I'm not saying not having a great game. He's on a 6.8, which for him is dreadful, to be honest. Let's get Warwick back in there. Biggs can move into the Mazzala. Just looking around where else we can try and switch up. Doyle's on a 6.2. Maybe Jackson, maybe Bell can go. Let's put Jackson actually. He's a left sider, so Z with the cross. Head away. Biggs picks it up. Z, Daniel Day-Lewis offside maybe? No. Yes. Z's offside. Looks like a 1-1 draw where we should really have taken more, but Gino. Warwick. Oh, come on, ref, is that gone over? Penalty. Here we go. Zakiri with the yellow card. The Cure steps up. Usually calm, confident. He is again. 2-1. There we go. Cracking penalty. Centre halves on penalties, that's what we're talking about. 5 points clear of Palace. Minutes to go. We'll start to lock things up in 5 minutes, I think. Go cautious. Golobovic. Down Day-Lewis, I think he's offside, isn't he? Palace are in their groove now. Better believe we are. 17 shots, 10 on target, 2.6 XG away from home. Uh-oh. Oh, bugger. And it counts. Of course it does. Of course it does. Might be worth having another look at, Franco. But is he? He's maybe just on, isn't he? He's maybe. Morning, Flipper. Do you know how and why my job title says head coach and not manager? It depends what your nationality is. What's your game language set to? Is it set to US? That would change it to head coach, I believe. I think that's how it works anyway. Look at that, man. 18 shots, 7 for them. 2-2 draw. Might not even be that. Might end up losing 3-2. Oof. Nearly. Poor. Three points ahead of QPR, who beat Bournemouth. So we must have been flying. Right, let's have a look at training then, because we have to get set up for the next set, aren't we? Right, that looks like it should work. A little bit of rest between games. So form's looking all right, to be honest. So Stoke and Watford next in the Championship. Then it's into the FA Cup against Leeds. So games are obviously going to come thick and fast. Hopefully, we can avoid injuries, touch wherever we want to touch. Don't want to say anything too loudly, of course. Mickey Mallon out for 6 weeks. Great. There's another defensive midfielder out. I found out it was showing all English until I clicked the option. It was showed English US. There you go. Thought so. I thought that would have been the situation, to be honest. There's Lucius Guile at Carlisle. It looks okay. Adam Lewis could be decent. Scotter and Keown. Huddersfield lost to Norwich. Interesting. So what's that do for the playoff picture? Moves Huddersfield back down to 5th. Monkey Man, hello, welcome in. Nice to see you. Norwich move up to 3rd. Derby 4th. Huddersfield 5th. Watford 6th. Leicester, Plymouth, Preston, Stoke, Forest, you would say? Not out of it. I mean, even Barnsley and Burnley could make a bit of a charge. It's the Championship after all, isn't it? So I'm going to go to the toilet, so bear with me 2 seconds. Chair's in charge for the next bit, yeah? Yeah, we enjoyed the win. We enjoyed the win, Monkey Man. It was very good indeed. Just go hope for the same again tomorrow now, to be honest. And then see who we get drawn against in the final. So, who are we thinking then? Who do we think is going to be there? Is it going to be Borough? Is it going to be Coventry? You'd have to probably back Borough, wouldn't you? But Coventry have been fantastic this season as well. The run they've been on to get to where they got to is nothing short of special. Kind of flown under the radar as well. Well, as under the radar as you can get with someone like Gorkes scoring like all over the place. Coventry versus Sunderland. Proper old school full Hummeloff. The chair did a great job in my absence. It tends to Arsenal, and you know what? I think people prefer the chair, to be honest. I really do. I'm not going to argue with Martian. Just leave him to it. If he wants to start kicking off, he can start kicking off. Still no return for the chat. Still no return for Valia. Unsworth's back fit though. That's good. Damjanovic is back fit. That's good. So Golubovic can go back on the bench. We like Golubovic, but so I'll take Daniel Day-Lewis off. Put Murphy up front. And maybe swap Hayes for Unsworth. Try that. Just a couple of changes. I was going to try and rotate the team a little bit, given the fact we've got quite a lot of games coming up. So we don't want to lose our foot at the top of the table, do we? So Stoke next, as I say, then Watford, then Leeds in the FA Cup. And then if we get past Leeds, that means we're into the quarterfinals. That's nosebleed season. Steen Kallenberg whips it in. Cleared away by Biggs. Oh, yeah, that's very, very close. Very close indeed. The cue out to Maxo. Biggs. Aquino. Unsworth to Maxo. Nice ball from Biggs. Aquino. Back to Biggs. Goes back. Off to the side of the bar. Damjanovic. That'll do. It's not quite the goal of the season contender we were hoping for, but decent bit of intricacy. Decent bit of play beforehand, though. Unsworth smashes it off the underside of the bar. Damjanovic just taps in the rebound. That'll do. Finally, Damjanovic starting to get in amongst the goals as well. He's always threatened it, and we thought there's got to be a player in here somewhere. Just not been able to unleash him or unlock him, but maybe, just maybe he's starting to find his sea legs. Damjanovic is a great little portrait at the back post all of a sudden. Yeah, that's exactly it. Knows how to get in the right position. A bit like Haaland. Haaland's a good back post poacher. Great ball at the top. There's Murfett. He's gone down. No penalty. Doyle picks it up, launches it. Damjanovic's got to do better there, surely. Spreading the play around, aren't they, still? Z. That'll do. Kitiovsky comes and claims it. I think QPR must be winning again because we're still only 3 points ahead. Not less. Swings a foot at it. Yeah, QPR 2-0 up against Colchester. even now it's got to the start of the season where it's just like, do we start looking at other teams' results? Yeah, maybe. We get to see this Wigan play as well for the first time, don't we? Aquino, nice turn. Makes a bit of space for himself. Lays it back. Maxo. There's Biggs again. Gino. Unsworth. Z. Pulls it back. Gino. Unsworth again. Just not quite good enough in that final ball there, is it? Oh. Intercepting though. Aquino. Where's he going to dink it up to? Damjanovic. Blocked again. Goal difference is starting to creep up as well. +9 at this point. That might come in handy towards the end of the season. It might be very handy. We're blocked by the Cure. Karnberg whips it in. The other way. No effect chases. Nicely headed away by the Cure. Glad we kept him. I really am. 14 points ahead of third. Really? That's quick maths. Oh, Maxo, go on. Get the byline. Oh, Murphet. Oh, it is as well, mind. 14 points. Wow. We're not even at half time in this game yet. This has felt like a long match. Aquino with a decent free kick. There's a lot to see. Aquino getting his foot in. Nice. Damjanovic, Unsworth. In for Murphet. Oh, off the post. Oh. It's looking good for a trophy at the minute. Don't say that too loudly, Zeep. Great ball through. Damjanovic. Offside. Should really have been 2 up there. Unsworth, great ball. You're right, Franco. Really, really good. Like there's good pieces, isn't it? Like in this Palace side. Like if we go up, who do we let loose? Who do we let go? Who's not quite good enough? That's the question, isn't it? Wilson, I suppose, is probably one. Oh, Z. Intercepted by Doyle. Maybe we need to look at Z, possibly. Unsworth. Great ball over the top. Damjanovic. Z. I'll try and sign Warwick. Yeah. Biggs just puts it wide. Yeah, Warwick's been brilliant, hasn't he? He's not even playing in this. He's not even playing in this match. Might bring him on for. Bring on for Kadorf, but Kadorf's just gone up to a 7. Great ball in. He's a bit more, slightly more tired, I think, than Unsworth. Unsworth's had a cracking game. Yeah, I guess he's sort of like point to prove, isn't it? Hang on, who's marking him? Oh. Should have been 1-1. Maxo Aquino gives the ball away. Aquino's been a little bit wasteful, so might move Murphy out to the wing. Bring Daniel Day-Lewis on. Z's been wasteful as well. Right, okay. Doyle's not a Premiership player. No, I think his legs will have gone by the time we get to the Premiership, to be honest. Warwick can go there. Daniel Day-Lewis can come on for Aquino. Yeah, the Cure probably is a Premiership player. Maxo probably is. And look at this, he's on 7.1 now, Maxo, so he knows he can play. Biggs can be playing the Premiership. Hayes can play in the Premiership. Daniel Day-Lewis can probably play there. Daniel Average can probably play there. Unsworth probably. I think it's maybe our defence that needs looking at, really. Let's get Premier League quality defenders. I'm just going to Premier League with Thomas Bristol. I'd like to re-sign Daniel Day-Lewis on the season loan, promise him a £12 million fee at the end of the season. I saw that, Nige, in the Discord. Big fan of it. Big fan of it indeed. Daniel Day-Lewis, Doyle, Biggs, Isaac Jackson. Comes charging into the back post. I think if we can nudge out these 1-0s, Unsworth is a maybe. Yeah, he'll be a squad player, like Golubovic. Golubovic is a player as well who can sort of like come on and maybe do something if we need to. You know, if we get a good offer for him, fine. But he's maybe not the first name on the team sheet. I think Biggs and Hayes are the midfield 2 with Warwick. If we can get that, then there's a midfield 3. And that's cracking. Maybe the chat's not quite up to it. Depends on how he comes back after his broken leg. Unsworth, Golubovic. Good save. Even Nico, how are you, pal? Nice to see you. We're all very well. We're all very well, thank you. Hope you're good too. Nice to have you in, of course. Doyle's gone down, injured, in a heap. I don't think we can bring another player on. We can actually. Right, Bell's on. Hopefully Doyle's not out for too long. I bet it's cramp. I bet it is as well. Yeah. Never seen it before, never will. Warwick, what a ball. Jackson. Remember, we've got players like Serra to come back from loan as well. So, MK Don's job is free and my save. Should I take it? I mean, ooh. I don't think... It's a difficult one because none of us would say yes. None of us would say yes because of what MK Don stands for, Nico. But given the fact that you're in Denmark, you're probably okay. But most people over here would say no. I'm trying to think of who's the most controversial team in Denmark. Where are you currently as well? Okay, Isaac Jackson. This has been a hard fought 2-0 win. Very hard fought. I'm glad we stuck with a 4-3-3, mind. I'm glad we did that. You know, why don't people like MK Dons? So the reason that people don't like MK Dons, Nico, is because there was a team called Wimbledon way back in the day who disbanded, where they were kicked out of the league. They reformed as AFC Wimbledon, had to re-qualify and sort of like get promoted from the non-leagues. And Wimbledon themselves, like the actual Wimbledon and their history, were given to this new club. They just created a new club out of nowhere and put them in the Football League. And it was MK Dons because Milton Keynes didn't have a football team. There was no football team in Milton Keynes, so they went, oh, you know what? You can have Wimbledon. And all the Wimbledon fans were like, well, that's not really fair. That's not how it works. You can't just take our club and move us and put us elsewhere. Like Wimbledon formerly won the FA Cup. But yeah, the FA just did it and just went, yeah, let's just create this new team and like they can all live in Milton Keynes because Milton Keynes don't have a football team. So yeah, so they got sort of parachuted into the Football League. AFC Wimbledon were basically created by the fans as a bit of a sort of like, well, you know what, fuck you, we're gonna try and keep Wimbledon living on, and they got themselves promoted into the Football League, and then they're now above MK Dons, which is brilliant, you know. So that's the story. So most football fans in England don't like MK Dons because of the situation, because we all have an affection for Wimbledon. Like we all remembered them being like, they were called the Crazy Gang, like, so they were just full of like this ragtag bunch of rebels just with really weird players. that were playing there, and they were just like really difficult to play against. They had a bit of personality, and yeah, then they just got rid of them. So yeah, most of us in this chat would probably say like avoid MK Dons, but because they're called the franchise, because essentially like, what you have like in NFL, then just move a team like they move the Raiders to like Oakland or whatever. You're busy enjoying it in Los Angeles one season, all of a sudden your team's not there the following season. Feels really weird, and it's not a thing that's been done very often, and it got a lot of people's backs up. So I think that's why we would all sort of side away from MK Dons. But at the end of the day, your save, your rules, you know. But we're just putting context out there now. So I remember there was a reaction to MK one time in here, so I needed to ask. Yeah, that's basically why it is, to be honest. Have a Google of Wimbledon, the Crazy Gang. You'll see loads of videos of them on YouTube, Nico, and when you do, that's why you'll be like, oh yeah, they're quite fun actually. I wouldn't mind them had they started at the bottom of the league. Yeah, at the start of the bottom of the pyramid, absolutely, that would be great. And then fine, they've got there on their own merits, but yeah, just parachute into the league is a bit unfair, isn't it? Not supposed to attack in Discord too. Got promoted by playing 3-4-3 and that's part of the season. 3 centre backs, Segundo Volante, half back, 2 wing backs. Attacking mid, shadow striker and AR for Poacher. Nice. That sounds very good actually. We'll have a look. We'll have a little look at that, because again, next season's going to be. Is it a tactic to think? Change at QPR? What's happened there? What happened? Did the QPR manager leave? Vladimir Ivic left to join West Ham. Ah, right, okay. So then the Norwich manager has come in. Interesting. We don't have a team like that in Denmark. We're general too sweet in Denmark. Yeah. You'll know if I'm a player called Vinnie Jones. Yeah, Vinnie Jones, John Fashanu, Dennis Wise, Bruce Grobbelaar, Alan Johnston, the inventor of the Adidas Predator football boot. Did he play for Wimbledon? Craig Johnston. Maybe. Laurie Sanchez. Robbie Earle. Yeah, what a time to leave the club. Oh, hang on. 2 seconds. Small child moment. Just keep my ears out. Time out 25-2. We might be okay for one more game, I think. Possibly. Goalkeeper was Hans Seggers, wasn't it? I think possibly. We have the old FC Copenhagen, pure hate against them, and Bromby living in Copenhagen earlier. You could tell going on the street something was going on when two clubs met each other. Like Sunderland and Newcastle, to be honest. It feels awful. Derby Day is horrific. It's grim. Suggesting that they'll rest the cure for a week. I don't think so. Players don't get rest in my team. Doyle's out injured. Right, Jackson comes in. We could try and sign Jackson permanently as well. That'd be great, wouldn't it? We'd love that. Biggs out for Warwick. QPR ended Vinnie Jones' English career. He was getting the manager's job. Ray Harford got sacked. QPR give it to someone else. Vinnie stormed off to the US in disgust. Yes, some Newcastle. That's right. Yeah. Hans Seggers, remember him at Spurs, and then there's goalkeeping coach. Yeah. Weird one, eh? Do we put... Tell you what, let's put Bell in. I know the Cure's playing well, but let's put them there. So no chance getting back now. Yeah, we have. We could do it. I think we might. If we do, that's great. If we don't, it's not a problem. You know, just see what happens, innit? See what happens. Two on from home's not bad. Yeah, I think so. Like the thing is, I've sort of said like to a few people now, like the way Luton played, they were very much sitting back and playing for set plays. They kind of had a rest. So they're probably going to be fresher than Sunderland, because Sunderland chased the ball and ran for the full 90 minutes. So I wonder whether or not Luton, the players, are going to feel a bit fresher. I wonder. Might be wrong, but yeah. Well, you know, the first part of the first part's done. You know, that's what we did. What we have to do. I will go for the way leg. Yeah, just go and do it again. That's all you got to do. Just keep winning. And that's what this team's quite good at. Daniel Day-Lewis, this team's quite good at this as well, to be honest. A random contra to 1-0 Sunderland. Luton have a pure hell at home. Yeah. They've got to come out and play, which will leave more space for Diallo. Yeah, that's the thing. Because Sunderland can go back. Sunderland can now afford to go back and just sit deep and go, oh, we're leading. Like, if you want to get promoted, you've got to come and play. But I wonder whether Tony Mowbray's got that in him. I wonder whether he'll go. He probably can. He probably knows how to grind a result out. It'll be interesting if he does go with, like, say, like, I mean, we haven't got any defenders, so we can't really go 5 at the back. But, you know, we'll see what he can do. I would have preferred 3-1. I would have felt more confident at 3-1. But 2-1's what it is. It's, you know, Luton have still got to score at least one. You know, one will take it to penalties, and then it's a lottery. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. As I said earlier, like this Sunderland side, like, you know, there's a goal in the team. So even if Luton score, I think Sunderland will score again. So then Luton will need to score 2. And that's what's going to be interesting. Have Luton got 2 goals in them? Maybe. Sunderland score many times away. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Like, and they get goals from all over the place as well. They're not reliant on just one player or one style of goal scoring. Like, Luton's away form is better than their home form, and they didn't offer anything on Saturday. You know, so the pressure's on them, really. and that's, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think Sunderland like being the underdogs. Just it's a natural thing. Like I think that's just how the club feels, to be the underdog. So it's a crown we wear pretty well. So we'll see. It should be a good match. Early goal, silence the Luton fans will be key. Yeah, I think you're right. I think if we do to them what they did to us, then you're right. It's really difficult for Luton at that point. If we score first, then yeah, their heads will drop. So we'll see. It should be a good match, whatever. $13 months ago, it wasn't sure for the. 13 months ago, it wasn't sure for the playoffs in League One. 4 months later, coming home to the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. Like, we shouldn't be in a position where we're talking about being one game from Wembley, two games from the Premier League. Like, the plan for this season was consolidation of the Championship. Don't get relegated was the plan. There was no plan to be in the playoffs, and that's what kind of makes it exciting and surprising, because it's just like, actually they've just got there by playing really good football and having fun and doing it without, said before, like without a recognised centre forward, and still scoring all these goals and playing really good football. It's just been refreshing to see a Sunderland side have fun, to see the fans enjoy watching football again, to see Tony Mowbray loving life. Like, he loves it, absolutely loves it. And for him to go up against one of his former clubs, well, both, I guess, the former clubs, Coventry and Middlesbrough, if we get to the final, of course. There's something else, there's another little added bonus in there. So, yeah, it's great. Whatever happens, happens. You know, that's the thing. Like, it's a season to put smiles on people's faces again. Matty Warwick. Talk about smiles on faces. Daniel Day-Lewis does all the hard work there. Look at this, picks the ball up halfway line, runs the channel. Look how many players we've got in the box here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 almost. Little Warwick gets in there. Beautiful. And that moves us 5 points clear of QPR at this point. Norwich manager, of course, jumping ship from 6th to 5th, 2nd. Oh, they're going to hate that. Norwich fans are going to be really pissed off about that. Matty Warwick, Z. Puts the ball, wins it back though. Hayes. Aquino over the top. Excuse me. And Gino's on the yellow card, so we might have to look to bring him off at half time. Risk of red, do it. Over the top, that's fine. Keep them to the edge of the box. 12 goals better off than QPR as well now. What's the maths between us and third? 73 to 58? 15, is it? 15 points. That's a decent lead, isn't it? Here's great ball. Just wanted a little bit more bend on that. Danjanovic at the back post. 15 points with 12 games to play. So we can afford to lose 5 matches essentially. That's pretty wild, isn't it? It's getting into a comfortable distance. It's starting to get there. Let's imagine what it would be like to have a comfortable existence. I thought Robertson was on the bench. He's not, is he? Never mind. Let's put Golubovic in there. 100 points, Tony. No losing 5 games. 4 losses and a draw. 7 plus 7 wins. Right, so if we win 7 more games, we won the title. Is that what you're trying to say? Or we're promoted if we win 7 more games. Is that where we are? Seven wins sees us promoted. Excellent. Just win the next 12. Probably the best way, Zeke, to be honest. I'll just do that. 12 more wins. That should see us through, right? Hayes doesn't quite go through Acuna. Nice Jackson. Z launches it into no man's land, sadly. 12 points, 12 wins will get us over 100. Captain Scarlett with a save. Queen on 6-6 as well. That was brilliant. Let's get Murphy on. Hayes for Biggs as well, actually. Z, head down. I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it? A 100-point season. Oh, I talked about that back in the Oxford days, the Huddersfield days. Imagine if we do it in the Crystal Palace days. 9 wins, 1 drawn, 2 losses will give us 101 points. Ooh, okay. Right, QPR have taken the lead. I believe. Can't see the result, but they must have done. So we're only 3 points clear of them now. There, Lewis, Warwick, Golobovic, Perfect. Not going to score from there. Come on. Yeah, 2-0 up against Norwich, I think, is it? Is it QPR versus Norwich? What a first match that is for the manager, then. If that's the situation. Norwich fans are going to hate them. This ball, Z controls it. Golobovic brings it down. Counter-attacks on. Daniel Day-Lewis is through. What about that for counter-attacking football? TJ Ball is in full flow tonight, isn't it? What a dink. Great touch. Puts his foot through it. 3-0. Daniel Day-Lewis. Right, hands up who questioned whether he was the right signing at 19 million quid. I questioned it for a little bit. I questioned it. I said, is he worth the money? Yes, he's worth the money. That was with his right foot, not even his left foot. We know all about his left foot. Oh, we can all be wrong. We can all be wrong. Don't worry, Franco. I'm the same. I was like, 19 million quid. That price just kept going up and up and up, didn't it? And it was like, Paul Ward questioned it. Like, Paul Ward would have 52 goals right now, wouldn't he? We're just saving Paul Ward for the Premier League. Like, they're trying to push him for several seasons. Well, yeah, we were never really in a position to get him though, Nige. Like, I think you mentioned him first when we were at Linfield, I believe. Is that right? And because you had him on loan from Leicester. But then we left Linfield pretty quickly. Obviously, he was never going to come to us at Oxford until we got to League One. Then we left League One the following season. We could have probably had him at League One, actually, at Oxford. And then at Huddersfield, he'd already signed that move to Ipswich, which meant that we couldn't afford him. I think that's disallowed, isn't it? Yeah. But we finally got our man. We finally got him. Miles offside. He went to Ipswich and said, going to Huddersfield. Yeah. We were in for him, but we couldn't, Let's be honest, Ipswich is a bigger club than Huddersfield. Really. And we got Paul Ward, who, say what you like about Paul Ward. and we all do. Yeah. You know, he was cheaper. Let's put it that way. So, it looks like they might have followed, have they? No, they haven't. No, they've won 2-0. So, Norwich slip out of the playoffs. Managerial change has potentially done Norwich's season. Ooh, that's got a feel for them there, right? Warwick's a good player as well. We could do with Warwick in the Premiership. Ward has DDL attributes, just can't do the business as DDL does. Yes. I think that's a fair point, Nigel. Like, on paper, Ward looks great. Okay. Question chat. The Man United job is available for next season, right? For next season. They're a 16th. They're 4-star rated. We're a 3-star manager. How's the standing in the Premier League? I mean, they're 16th. I don't think we'll get it. I don't think we'll get the Premier. I don't think we'll get there. The United job. They're potential. They're not a million miles away from relegation. Sunderland are going down, possibly. Oh, you know what? I think we have to at least have a conversation, don't we? It's Manchester FC. Apply. That's all we can do. If they don't want us, that's not a problem at all, because I think we're onto a good thing with Palace. But if we're looking to try and win trophies, then we sort of have to, don't we? We sort of have to. But for next season, not for now. Not for now. That's only because by chance I even saw it flash up there as a news item. I was like, oh, hang on. Clement sacked by Man United. Signed DDL, damn the cure, Warwick, we aren't getting it. Oh. Imagine all them at United. Oh. So good. Well, they've already got Parsons. Damjanovic at United would work pretty nicely, I think. I think that would work fine. Who United's owners in the game? Let's have a look, shall we? Again, we're good at this. We get ourselves carried away a little bit. That's in the staff, isn't it? Steve Paul and Vaughan Pixley, Anton Roos, Jake Gray, Sean Langford, John Murtaugh's still there, Darren Fletcher's still there, Benny McCarthy is there. So, Paul McShane, facilities, still at Old Trafford. Oh no, yeah, still Old Trafford. Very much on the decline. Vaughan Pixley's a hell of a name. Oh, yeah. wasn't dirty sports Russian type. Oh, 100%, 100%. We wouldn't be there if it was. We wouldn't be there if it was. Don't worry about that. Oh, look at that. A 10 for Aquino. Does the Bobby Coppins. I'm not sure I want the United job. I'm enjoying this Palace team. What I love about the game when you get that far and a new gens or owners changes. Yeah, exactly. I think when you've got no idea who anybody is at all. Right, so Leeds away in the FA Cup. Knew that was coming. I know, Raggio. I'm sorry. Right, we'll play the Leeds game. Then we'll come back on Wednesday, and that's going to be, theoretically, is that going to be, would that be the end of the season, do you reckon? It might be a push. If we're quick. Job interview day. Have you guys heard of Fess Hall? Yeah, isn't that the sort of like can't really describe what it is, but you know, you all know what it is. Yeah, it's an FM Fess. Need to put a shift in to finish the next stream. Well, we'll try. But you're right, without the guarantee that we're gonna escape, it's gonna be tricky. Tell you what, let's move Z out for Jones. Actually, no. I had a fling with my boss. He dumped me, told the lads I got too excited during sex and ruined it for him. He was out of the office, left his laptop unlocked. I ruined his 75-year football manager save and deleted the backup files. There you go. Never scorn your boss. Never go out with your boss. You know, never do stuff like that. Right, we're away to Leeds, FA Cup. 5th round, one step away from the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We've got pedigree this Crystal Palace side, I remember though, because when we took over the season, we took over in the summer, they'd been in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup the season before. So they do know what they're doing in the cups. Just think they could get a Friday, possible bonus stream. Could get bonus streams all the weekend actually. That's a good point. Monday streams of transfers, not a single game played. Oh God, imagine that, Franco. All next week, no games played. Oh, absolute bliss. Absolute bliss. For either or as well. Like either for Palace or United. Say no more, I'm getting too messed at the thought. Yeah, that's what we do. Cura clears it. Maxwell thinks about chasing down Davies. Dittmer. I think we might miss Doyle in this match actually. It'll be interesting to find out how sort of off the pace we are against Premiership sides. So 40 minutes in. Maybe drop deeper smidge, possibly. Let's drop off if we have to, yeah. Might need to regroup as well rather than chasing, but they are pushed really high. We're sitting back a smidge. Biggs intercepts. Damjanovic over the top. A bit too far. You need a challenge for that. Hayes has picked up. Oh, now we're talking. Hit off Jackson. Hayes. Damjanovic down the wing. Sells his marker. Biggs. Hayes can't quite get the ball through. Jackson wins it back. There we go, that'll do. Just play some nice football, boys. That's all we gotta do. The ball in. Oh, Biggs. Onto offside? I'm not sure. I'm not convinced about that. Davies down the line. Hitting animations, win the ball back in the highlight ends. Yeah. Oh. I hate that animation more though. Who was that? Was that the Q or was that Maxo? That's Maxo in it. He's pissed. He's seeing double, treble. I mean, it is what it is, I guess, isn't it? But it's frustrating to have that as the moment. Right, maybe bring Bell on actually in the second half. Watch him go AWOL tomorrow. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just waiting for the title parade when he's like fucking falls off the bus. I mean, the bus runs him over because he falls off the top. Jackson, Z, Gino, Biggs. Trying to keep in possession, but the problem is he's on a 6-7. He's not actually playing that bad, but at the same time, he is actually the reason that we're not winning. So let's switch him over. That was the right idea to bring him off, but might as well. Good shout, Reeks. Yeah, Smurfette for Aquino, absolutely. Actually, maybe Smurfette possibly for Aquino. I was almost going to say for Daniel Day-Lewis, maybe even for Daniel Day-Lewis, and then put Golubovic out wide. That might work. Aquino, Jackson, Cure. I like the idea. I like the idea, but it's not happening, is it? Let's drop more off. Cure, Bell. Lurson. Jackson, Damjanovic. Oh, scuffs it wide, Daniel Day-Lewis. That left foot of yours meant to be a wand. Bilic gets out of the wing. Goes back towards, so much space. Oof, good save. Keeps us 6-4 like the game. We credit him with the error of the goal. Yeah. It happens though, doesn't it? Biggs on a 6-7. Bring him off, maybe. Put Warwick on. Maybe need a bit more energy there, don't we? Warwick, come on. Saves were good, Reece. Saves were very, very good, thank you. We're top of the league. We've got 12 games to go, 11 games to go possibly. We're in the 5th round of the FA Cup for now. We're possibly about to get knocked out, but that's fine. We're not expected to do that. But yeah, hopefully we get promoted from the Championship. That's the main thing. So yeah, can't complain. Must win the Champions League by now. No, not yet. Not yet. We've started right at the bottom. We started in Northern Ireland, so we've been all over the place. I'm bringing Daniel Day-Lewis off, actually. Milovic on. Oh, Damjanovic blocked. We're hoping to win promotion from the Championship to the Premiership. I was talking about doing the Championship. I'm refusing to leave my desk to get this Blackburn team promoted 3 seasons of trying. European Cups counted in the British Steel. They're not. I mean, we obviously, if we do sign them, if we do win them by accident, then we're massively getting ahead of ourselves, Franco. But yeah, if we can do it, why not? Oh, Bell can't quite get the ball over. Yeah. United, that could be a thing. Could well be a thing. That's right. Keep the ball moving. Damjanovic. Pull the ball back. Jackson. Oh, that would have been incredible. That would have been, yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Murphy wins a throw-in. Oh, you never know, Nigel. If you win a cup, then you end up into some European competition, don't you? So, and also if we've only got, if we're currently 16th, then maybe we've actually got more time to just focus on getting into the Champions League, or more time to win a cup. Out the distraction of Europe. Oh, Warwick's has left him. What a touch. Jackson, Damjanovic. Hayes. Jackson. Oh, we can't leave this team. We can't. Do you know what I mean? We can't leave Crystal Palace. The trophies will come. Trust the process, right? Smurf, Warwick's little turn made it. Oh, it was such a turn, wasn't it? It was amazing. Opens the space up. Jackson goes bombing down the wing. Night lads, have a good catch up next stream, hopefully. Oh, David, a pleasure to see you, mate. Honestly, take it easy. We'll catch you soon, hopefully. Nice to see you again. I know it's been a while, but yeah, cracking to have you back in. Warwick spreads the play. Reece, what do you think about what Rio said? If United finish 4th, when the Carabao is better than Arsenal finishing 4th, second away nothing. I think most of what commentators say is utter nonsense, to be honest. In a sense, he's right, because they've won a cup, and fans want to win cups. Fans don't want to finish 4th. Fans don't want to finish 2nd, but you don't get a trophy for finishing 2nd. You don't get a trophy for finishing 4th. But you do get a trophy for winning a trophy. So, in a sense, that's better. They've won something, but it's such a linear way of looking at football. Yeah, Arsenal aren't expected to finish 2nd. That's the thing. United probably aren't expected to win a cup. That's the thing. Like, none of it really makes sense. Oh, what I think about Rio's a drugs cheat. Yeah, well, someone who failed to turn up for a drug test. Remember, a cup where most teams put the kids in for. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Dan, it's still a cup competition, isn't it? It's like, if you look back on your career, what did you win? It's not, oh, I came fourth loads of times. That's the problem, is that we've now fetishized getting into the Champions League as more important than winning a trophy. You know, fans want to see teams win stuff. They don't want to see teams just finishing fourth and then getting knocked out of the Champions League. Rubbish. You know? Great ball through, Smurfette. Can he get his head up? No, he can't. I was going to say it goes in his CV at the end of your career. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Finished fourth 9 times. Trophies won, none. Like, I'm doing a you know, we're doing the British Steel Challenge here. It's much more important for me to win a trophy than to finish in the top 4. You know? If I finish in the top 4 and don't win anything, it's rubbish, isn't it? Like getting promoted and not winning the Pizza Cup. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, you know, we wanted the Pizza Cup. Why? Because it's a trophy. Take the Pizza Cup over 4th place obscurity every single day of the week. Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. Does winning the FA Cup get you into the Europa League? I think so. Right. Extra time. I mean, we're playing well, and I fancy our chances, but it depends on the league. No, you can still be in the Europa League, even in the Championship. I think if the League One side did it, they'd probably have a bit of a say about it, and they'd be like, "Oh no, we'd rather it didn't." Murphy, runs into trouble. 4th place isn't even going to be a tiebreaker question in a pub quiz. Yeah, and it doesn't even get you into the Champions League either. It gets you a qualifier against either a team from Romania or Inter. So, you know what I mean? Like, well done. You get one qualifying game in the Champions League. Rubbish. I think the crap energy drink cup gets you in the Conference League. Yeah. But again, all of the cup competitions have just been devalued for everyone focusing on 4th place being the thing. When City won the Carabao Cup 4 times in a row, it was nothing trophy. United win it once and some part of the World Cup. See, this is where I get out of the football banter a bit. Like, I think a team like Man City, you should be, for the amount of money that's been spent, should theoretically win everything. Absolutely, but you know, you could argue again the same with Man United, to be honest. Both teams have spent a hell of a lot of money, so that's where the money is. The Champions League is all about money. Yeah, 100%. I remember wistfully remembering how simple and elegant the old European competition formats were. Yeah, have you seen the new Champions League format, Monoret? It's ridiculous. It's the European Super League, but with a slightly different name. Love Spurs to have a crack at a cup run. Golubovic is through. All about trying to get the stay in the top 4. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you want to see your club lift a trophy. That's the thing. Fans want trophies. Fans don't just want, oh yeah, I saw my team compete, finish 4th loads. Oh, did you play in the Champions League lots? No, not really. No, we had a couple of qualifying games, and then it was mainly back into the Europa League. Like, do you know what I mean? What's the point? There is no point. Give the FA Cup winner a Champions League qualifying space. Bring the Cup Winners' Cup back. Net spend has already dropped. God, net spend's awful as well. Nobody cares about net spend. Net spend's a nonsense argument. created by Liverpool fans. Football's now played on balance sheets. It's not football, is it? It's business with the ball. Oh yeah, I don't mean it personally, but yeah, they are advocates of the net spend. It's like you can't really net spend when you're talking about spending 70-80 million pound on a player. You know, Liverpool get lucky in the fact they managed to make a lot of money off their incredibly average youngsters. So they do some very, very good business in selling players. No, that's how net spend looks good. But oh, the queue has gone off. Red card. Make the Champions League for champions and maybe runners up, and then the Europa League and the Winners' Cup. I to be fair, I was willing to agree with you when you went, yes, don't just the champions, just the champions. Liverpool have got to spend a lot this summer. Yeah, 100%. Fans want trips to Wembley. Of course they do. Fans don't want trips to Leicester. You remember that time that we finished 4th because we went to Leicester. No, I remember that time we went to Wembley and we won something. Oof. 2-1 against Leeds, we'll take that. It's a bad result in a sense. It's unfortunate, but we're out the FA Cup, sadly. Cure gets to take the walk. Yeah, threw himself in. I've moved from Manchester to Leicester. I wouldn't recommend coming here. Yeah, I used to like Leicester. Leicester was good. It's got some interesting places. Semi-final shouldn't be at Wembley. No, not at all. Not at all. But then again, the problem is that the biggest stadium is Old Trafford. And then you've got Villa Park. So but then again, you play it at Wembley to make more money. That's what it is, isn't it? So that Wembley makes money. It's all silly. It's all silly. Right. This has been fun. Tonight has been very, very fun indeed. Genuinely loved it. Whittingham Young Player of the Month again. 4 goals in 6 games this month. 16 and 30. He's looking like a good player. Right. Wednesday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 games. We're going to have to go some on Wednesday. Going to have to go some on Wednesday to get the season finished. We might end up with a Manchester United interview. We don't know. I think it's unlikely personally. But also, I quite enjoy managing this Crystal Palace side, so I'm not really that bothered either way, to be honest. So we'll wait and find out what happens. But as I say, this has been good. Let's go and drop a raid, shall we? And we will check out.
You can play this Lecce game and then come back tomorrow for this.
I was going to say I would go Josh Peach, but Josh Peach has literally just said we'll play this one game and then that's us done. I guess Maggio's on. Let's go and give him some love. We normally head across, but he's good for it, innit? So let's do that. Right, go and see Sai. He might get sacked, he might not. That's always good fun, isn't it? Yeah. Right. See you Wednesday, and then let's find out what happens with Sunderland at Wembley, shall we? Tomorrow. I think I might watch it if it's on the telly. Hopefully will do. Right. Appreciate all the support, by the way. Rivalda, appreciate the follow as well. Yeah. See you all soon. Take care. Bye now.
Brian's big fat head. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, Tony. How was it going?